Tonight, we bring you this week's flight sim news, catch up with SayIntentions, SWS join us to preview the upcoming Airvan, we check out AzurPoly's Jags weapon systems, and Simulations version 2 of Izmir. Hello? I need to figure out the delay in that. I didn't do anything, I promise. Hope you're all keeping well. Happy Wednesday, the middle of the week, the halftime shuffle. No, the halftime show, the midweek shuffle. It's the day of the hump. Yes, it's time for the news. And we have news this evening, yes. Busy one tonight, lads. Tonight, as your man said during the intro, we are checking out all the news this week for our beloved flight sims. Also catch up with SayIntentions and what they've been getting up to. SWS Simwork Studios are going to join us live on the stream to preview an upcoming aircraft, the Airvan. Ooh. Then it's over to AzurPoly's Jag. We're going to check out the weapon systems, things that make things go, bang, right? And then Simulations, well, we get to show off version 2 of their Izmir airport. That was one of their first airports. It's got a brand new, rebuilt from the ground up, and it's in Turkey, and we're going to be checking that one out as well. Ah, Jesus. How was your day getting on? Mr. Chippy's still waiting for his clearance for, clearance to, I don't know where that is. Please hold, I'll get that clearance for you. But anyway, yeah, we were doing a bit of explaining this morning, or explaining taking out the X-Crafts the 1000E. There we go, we got there. Come here, I got an email then from X-Crafts. And it wasn't the usual email I get. Dear Murph, you big idiot. Well, it was kind of like that, but it was from the lead developer, and he says, yeah, look, you broke it twice trying to take off. You turned off stuff and then you didn't follow things correctly. But really glad that you're enjoying it. Tried the demo flight and that'll bring you up to speed. Bloody hell, I thought. That was fantastic. So we'll have to jump back into them soon. Do you know? But anyway, it's a Wednesday, right? What's the weather doing? It hasn't changed much in Ireland. It stayed dry for the afternoon, which is a good result. And we were doing some chopper flying earlier as well. Brilliant, right? Exhausting. But anyway, hope you're all keeping terribly well. And we have a good bit to go through here now tonight, especially with the news. And interesting news, I'll have you know. Interesting stuff, right? So where are we at? We're over here, look.
Pull the big switch, good buddy.
He likes me music. There's buttons. Grizzle. Jesus. Did you finally get it down? Thank you very much indeed for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. If you've just missed the intro, we'll do it again. Flight Sim News, catch up, where you'll learn about the news. SWS are joining us to preview the Airvan. Yes, that's right, friends. And the weapon systems of the Jag. Izmir, it's in Turkey. an update from Simulations, and we're going to get caught up with SayIntentions. Brilliant. It's going to be flat out. But anyway, look, who's here? Eamon 1973, good to see you. CP65, welcome in. Vacuum is here.
Allow myself to introduce
myself. Grizzle, thank you very, very much indeed for the raid. Welcome in, lads. Super Ty, good to see you. Max Stallion is here. Led Ballooner, good evening. Toto's in the house. Nightsep, welcome in. Fierce Wolf, looking fierce. And Wolfie, welcome aboard, man. Tarnish is in the house. Shuffle Shoes, shuffles in. AJH John. Sun Jammer, evening all from sunny Coventry. It's sunny in Coventry. Where's this now? Chalks is here. It'd be Wednesday, so I'm in the mood for the news, he says. In the mood. Don't replace that with an N. Who's here? Look, Tim Dog, good to see you. McCracken Air, my dude, welcome aboard, man. Proby Pete, he says good day all from Arizona, where it is noon and it's 95 degrees. Jesus. Spitfire, Oriev 100, you're very welcome aboard. Rain is here. Viper Strike, good to see you. Getting ready to head out to Cincinnati to catch your flight to London. Come on yourself, Viper. Simmer Studios are in the house. Alex, you're very welcome aboard. You're looking well, isn't he? Right, Hemel, good to see you. PH Roy, we're all here again. That's the spirit. APU Inspector, good evening. Creo is here. Sand Fragger, welcome in. Big hello from New Jersey. Big hello from Tipperary. Very similar places in that there's people there. That's, you know. A Crotty, good to see you. Good evening, Murph and Fireflies. Getting a real feeling of haven't I seen you already? We have to stop meeting like this. Brilliant. Right over here, look, Little Trader, good to see you. Stick Figures here. Filthy, welcome aboard. Sourdough Man, happy Wednesday. Vince C is here. Maddie Lynn, good to see you, Maddie. Belbro, good evening. This is the 1900 Zulu News with Murph. How are you, Murph? Long time no see. 5 hours ago. Was it 5 or 3? I can't count. 5 hours ago, yeah. Jesus. Martel, good to see you. Ozzy Mandius is here. Old Veteran 965. You're very welcome aboard. Good to see you. He says hi all from a cloudy and muggy North Texas. Commander Balosh, welcome in. My guy, hope you're well. Idle Cutoff, evening Murph, Cambridge calling. Hello from Tipperary. You're looking well. Velo is here, welcome in. Biku, good to see you. Mr. Chippy. Still waiting for his clearance to, brilliant. Actorus, welcome aboard. Where is this now? Don't keep SWS waiting. I don't keep anyone waiting. You know, they're in the green room eating virtual sweets and stuff. Eamon, normally Murph makes things go bang. Oh, it did. I got a blue screen of death on my streaming PC about 10 minutes ago. The words I invented started with 98 Vulcan, greetings all from Gosford in Australia. Hello from Tipperary. TG Sims, good to see you. CP65 is here. Again, Grizzle with a massive raid of raiding raiders. Thank you very, very much indeed. Hope you're well, lads. Hope you had an awesome stream. Cyrus T, the man of deal, has rumbled aboard. Al's Alpaca, good to see you, man. Kirong is here. There's Grizzle with all the buttons and presses. Brilliant. Miles to Budapest. That's a great name. Welcome aboard, man. Dull Sides, welcome. Welcome in. Welcome in. All the Raiders. Alex is here as well. East Clintwood. One of the best names I've ever seen. Brilliant. You finally got it down. K-Dog, welcome aboard. Muse fan bursts in the door holding a biro. He says, how he is his man jokes is happy hump day. Good to see you, Muse. Where are we at over here now? Look, Max. Wait now. Maxi Miliang, welcome aboard. Connor is here. Heisenberg, good evening. Wills 1985, evening. Who else now? The Impossible Face. He says, I missed the heli stuff because I had to pop out for a few things. Back in time for the news. Brilliant, right? The news. Alson, you're very welcome aboard. P.S. Mirandai, hello there. Hope you're well, buddy. Where are we at now? Look, we're over here, look. John Moorcamp is here. Is AzurPoly here? They're not. AzurPoly, are they? I don't know. We're showing off the Jag. Anyone who pronounces the Dassault Jaguar needs a slap. It's Dassault Jag, right? That's when countries used to work together to make aeroplanes. You know, Britain and France. Jeez, they made some crackers over the years. They don't do it anymore, though, do they? But anyway, we move on. Look, who's over here? Look, quick hello to our friends on YouTube. Welcome in, lads. Visualize, good to see you. Mrs. TPHI is here. Al Duchar, welcome aboard. Northland Air, welcome in. Maddie Lynn is there as well. Dave Cleary, legend Dave. Welcome in, Dave. He says, good evening, Murph. What's newsworthy? The whole shebang, I'm telling you. Steve Stavros, welcome in. Greetings from Yorkshire. Looking forward to a comprehensive news roundup, but I'll watch your show first. Brilliant. Good to see you, Steve. Uniform Goose. Good day, Goose. Welcome in. Dave, is that a repeat? Yes, it is. The Slick One. Hello, McGuy. Simon Taylor is here. Siddle, welcome aboard. Sim Content, good to see you. Jesus, that's all happening now, huh? Let me see. Calax, good to see you, man. And Tima has rambled aboard. Jesus, now 11 seconds of an intro. Brilliant. Right, we're getting good at this, aren't we? Malky Mac, welcome aboard. Right, will we jump into... Come on, we will. Turn off that light. Look, come over here. Look, follow me here. Look. Asher, how are you? Heavy Jet, welcome in. Malky Mac is here. Happy Wednesday to you guys. Jesus, that's a fast intro if ever I saw one. Right, anyway, let's have a look here now. Right, friends, what we're looking at here... this is inside Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, the aircraft currently in development by SimWorks Studios, better known as SWS. We're going to be chatting to the guys in a little while, and they're going to be talking about the creation of what this aircraft is all about, right? And looking at it, you're probably thinking, you're kind of getting the Kodiak vibes, or maybe a Grand Caravan, even the way the door is, kind of twatter neck of the woods. Beautiful, and mad looking at the same time, right? But it's very much it's a working aircraft, as in it's a workhorse of an aircraft, right? Usually cargo operations can do passengers as well. And looking at the state of this thing, we've got big wheels, we've got cargo pods, we've got loads of stuff. This thing is built to haul, right? So we'll be checking this one out in detail. Basically, I think it's great for us to get insight from developers to kind of show us what you're actually doing, rather than just saying, oh, they released this, oh, they released that. I think it's great to see their perspective of what they're trying to achieve. And I'm excited to have the lads on here now in a little bit, right? Nice curves, yeah. The plane isn't bad either, right? Brilliant. But yes, Schutz, good evening. Zard, welcome aboard. Gibbo Ireland has entered the chat. Good to see you, man. 15 minutes is a new record. I don't know what it is. A Zybok Doc has entered the chat from Denmark. Hello from Tipperary. You're looking well. There are sounds here in the background. Right, lads, so what we're going to do, let me see, clipped out Panda. Hola, welcome in. What we're going to do, lads, we start off with the news. And with the news tonight, holy loads of things in the background, Murphy. Do you know what I need to do? I better pause the simulation. There we are. The news tonight provided from Vasco over at MSFSaddons.com. We have Callum and the lads at FS Elite, and a shout out, of course, as well to Threshold, all the lads over there keeping us up to date with what's going on in the simulated world. Now, we shall start off with this Majestic. Right, there's a name you're probably not familiar of, or you're over familiar with it, wondering what time are they getting here at. Well, Majestic Software, these guys were behind one of the best add-ons in Flight Simulator, right? P3D FSX, and it was that of their Bombardier Q400, right? Beautiful machine. And they've been talking since 2019 about bringing this over to Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's 2025 now, and we're seeing rendering the images, right? So it's been quite a while since we've heard from Majestic Software regarding their long-awaited Dash 8 Q400 for the sim, and development updates for the project have been rare. And at times it felt like the aircraft had vanished into the virtual ether. However, today Majestic have resurfaced with a brief yet welcome update and a new set of visuals to prove that the project is still very much ongoing. The update, published on the official Majestic Software forums, confirms that the Q400 still under active development. While no in-sim screenshots were included, the team shared a series of dedicated and detailed renders showing the aircraft exterior with particular attention to the engines and its landing gear. According to the developers, these are renders only, not representative of the aircraft as it appears within the sim, and they will be providing Microsoft Flight Sim screens when it is permissible to do so. All right, so there's some sort of milestone or agreement then that they want to get into. But I have to say, like, they're renders, so there's no point getting too excited about it. However, some of the details are very, very nice, right? I mean, the rivets are riveting, do you know? It's not the first time that Majestic have acknowledged the complex nature of bringing the Q400 over to Microsoft Flight Sim. And we've heard of all sorts of stories with their team moving apart and one fella leaving, and there's all sorts of drama. But anyway, the team explained much of the work from their prepared 3D version couldn't be ported over directly. As a result, most of the visual assets, including the 3D model itself, animations, displays, well, they're all being rebuilt from scratch. right? And that's to make it all work within Microsoft's new SDK. Development also faced a number of setbacks. Key challenge emerged when the original 3D artist said good luck to you, leading to delays in the completion of the model. However, Majestic have since reorganised and pushed ahead with new personnel and workflow. We also learned that the EFIS has been reworked and the new version will include integrated EFB with Navigraph chart support. The functionality is expected to be available across both Microsoft Flight Sim and prepared versions. So we can see a few... Jeez, we're getting raided all over the place. Man the towers and the balls! Adam Controls, welcome aboard, man. Good to see you. Welcome in, Raiders. Ninth is here. Good to see you. Stevie B, welcome from, he says, hello from Tenerife. Well, jeez, I'd love to be in Tenerife. Welcome in. One Fly Air is here. Q400, yes, about time. Yes. Adam, thank you very, very much indeed for the raid. So, some of the renders here are nice, but like they're not in the sim, even though they kind of put clouds and stuff behind them, right? But the fact that they had to kind of work these from, the ground up, I think it's looking kind of nice, right? She's looking nice.
Allow myself to introduce
myself. Now, we do have the Q4 XP over in X-Plane. That Dash 8 is incredible. The Q400 over in X-Plane, it's beautiful. And I actually remember when they released that in X-Plane, Majestic Software even gave them the tip of the cap saying, Jesus, lads, that's fantastic. Great to see. So anyway, as for a release timeline, Majestic constantly avoiding that. They're not making any promises. A 2025 release remains the early plausible window, though that's not even guaranteed at this stage. The developers have been cautious not to set expectations prematurely, choosing instead to post updates only when they have something concrete to share. The latest renders serve as a quiet reassurance to longtime fans of the Majestic Q400, but the project is still very much being working on. Do you know, 'tis indeed nice to be welcomed twice. Nice, brilliant. So Q400 news, it's there somewhere, lads, right? Moving on, Carenado, they're teasing a Cessna T10 or T210 Turbo. This is it's a Centurion 2, I think. This was available back in... Jesus, when did I last fly this? X-Plane, I'd say. But anyway, they're teasing a return to the world with a high-performance single engine that is of the Cessna T210 Turbo Centurion. The reveal came via a single promotional image and a short statement on their Facebook page. So, there's no release date, feature list, or additional context, just a clean image of a T210 flying at dusk. While Carenado has a long history of developing the Cessna 210, like FSX P3D, including X-Plane, this would mark the first appearance of the Centurion into the Microsoft Flight Sim, platform. So far, Carenado have focused its efforts on a wide range of GA aircraft, such as the Mooney, the Beach Bonanza, various Cessnas, but the 210 has been notably absent from the list until now. And there's also, Carenado have a massive fleet, right? If you're not, you may not be familiar with Carenado prior to Microsoft Flight Simulator, right? They have a huge fleet of aircraft, everything from jets to small aircraft, right? I mean, they have a Falcon in there. They had the Saab 340. They've a fairly... The Beach 1900 is one of my favourites. Gorgeous machine. But anyway, the 210 variant known for the turbocharged Continental TSIO 520, retractable gear, and also much higher cruise speed than most of the fixed gear singles, make it a step up for simmers looking to cover more distance at altitude while staying within piston territory. Now, just... Can we put a bit of right? Do you know the way we say, Jays is not another Airbus? Well, this is what the airliner lads say to us, Jays is not another Cessna, right? But they're all different. So with the Airbus Smurf, no, these are different, right? Anyway, what can we expect? Well, they haven't said anything else. The last release, of course, was their 182, right? And Carenado have moved away from using their own EFB, which I think is I don't like it. I prefer their EFB in the cabin, right? But anyway, they're able to amalgamate it with the Flight Sim 24 EFB. It's limited, you know. Now you can pop things in there like your TDI or your PMS 50 GTN units, which are nice. And look, they're grand. The Centurion is a nice machine though, and this thing would. I'm hazarding a guess, but I think this cruise is somewhere between 140 and 160. It'll be faster than your 170 for sure. It'll be faster than your 180, 182. But it can carry a much bigger payload. It is quite a larger aircraft, and you often see these either cargo configuration or passengers. If I remember correctly, I think Steve-O Wunkanevo did this with Minty. I think they flew a T10. Hang on now. Cessna T210. I'm almost certain of it, right? It's a video, Murph. It's a video. What did Steve-O fly? Hang on now. Stevio. One Canevo. Did they not fly a Cessna 210? I'm almost certain they did. They flew out to go golfing somewhere. But anyway, no, I know he flies the TBM, but no, he flew, where's this one now? Steve One Canevo, was it golf? They went out of Falcon Field or something. Was this it? Don't play music, you get in trouble. He's there with Fly Minty. Oh, Jesus, I'm pressing buttons all over the shop here, lads. Where is it now? Why are they flying? I think that's the stab of it there, look. Right? It's a 206. Never mind, I'm full of implausible news. So it's bigger than a 206 as well. Right, there we go. Anyway, good news from Carenado, because look, you can't say no to more of these, you know. It's a beautiful looking aircraft. So no release date yet, but I think a month, give it a month, right? Airplane Heaven have released a new aircraft, their version of the Mitsubishi A6M2 Zero for Microsoft Flight Sim. And PQ, good to see you. Airplane Heaven just released its rendition of the Mitsubishi Zero for Microsoft Flight Sim. No prior teasers or build-up. The sudden launch brings one of the Second World War's most legendary fighters to the sim, and it lands in the middle of anticipation of a separate Zero project in the works from Blackbird Simulations. So they got this one out the gap fairly quick. It's priced at $24.99. The new add-on, it's now available for Flight Sim 2020, compatible with Flight Sim 24, and it comes packed with historically grounded features and visual and audio experience that continues Airplane Heaven's focus on the vintage side of aviation. The Zero, referred to as is it Ryzen by Japanese pilots, was among the most capable carrier-based fighters at the outbreak of the Second World War. It was light, agile, with an exceptional range, aided by external fuel tanks. It saw its first combat over China in 1940 and famously gained notoriety during the attack on Pearl Harbor. Airplane Heaven's model, based on the A6M2 variant, while the aircraft's dominance faded later in the war, while its legacy endures as a pivotal design of its time. The developers have built the aircraft using contemporary detailed plans and drawings, aiming to reflect its historical design with accuracy. And the cockpit is richly detailed with a complete custom animation and PBR material to capture the wear and metallic kind of sheen, as you would expect, right? Now, the render shots here are quite nice. Avangel took this for a spin. I haven't picked it up yet. It's on my radar. It's on my list of things to do, right? I think where Airplane Heaven are at, they're lacking in some departments. The sounds seem a little bit hollow on this on the inside, but look, it's an aircraft we'll probably check out next week, lads, if there's interest here. Despite any possible shortcomings, I'm still very happy to see these aircraft coming into the sim, because let's be honest, right? To my knowledge, there are no flying Zeros left in the world, and if there are, they'd be kept very, very local. So the chances of actually seeing one, highly unlikely. The chances of actually flying one are even less than that. So to be able to get these in a sim, it's awesome, especially in Microsoft Flight Sim, because you have all the scenery and you have all the stuff. So I very much welcome this project. It'll be interesting to see where Blackbird Simulations take theirs. Some of their render shots, they look beautiful, man. They really do. Do we actually have some here? I think we have some here, just to do a comparison. Like, that is very nice. But if we were to do, what was it? Blackbird Simulations Zero. That's what they're working on, right? And that's, like, you can see what they're working on. Do you know? Like, look at the cut of that. Look, Jesus. Where is this now? They had pictures here a while ago. They were showing some pictures. Where are we now? Here, look. I mean, look at the detailing on this thing, right? So yeah, very very nice. The A6M5 would be unfair. The M2 is good. Ooh, I don't know enough about the Zero, but I'm terribly excited that it's on the way into the sim. There's one release now and there's another one on the way. So we have fully modelled gear wells, wing folds, choice between bomb loadout or external fuel tanks, high fidelity WY sound set created in-house, custom flight dynamics informed by real-world flight tests, code tweaks to address tail dragger handling issues, right? Pilot suited for RAF and US liveries, even historically themed paint schemes, right? And trainer versions and several squadron-based liveries from across the Pacific Theatre. A free manual is available online, and the timing of this release especially interesting as Blackbird Simulations have been openly developing its own version of the Zero, aiming for a release at any moment. So there's all sorts of, get out of my way, we're releasing this now, right? So it is designed for Flight Sim 2020, should be working fine in 24. We'll probably check it out next week, lads, you know, and see where we go from that. Like, with some of the aircraft from Airplane Heaven, the P-51 still needs a fix. In multiplayer only, I think the flaps are still showing as down. Now, I think you can change the config file. Colonel Fork was saying you can do that. We know they're working on the Spitfire, and that's interesting because he's going for the early development of the Spitfire. The Hurricane I thought was excellent. Their Mark 1 was excellent. And what else? What else? They've had a couple of Jesus moments, but by and large, the vintage aircraft that Airplane Heaven do, they're very, very nice. Not to mention the DC-3 that's in Microsoft Flight Sim. That was theirs, right? So good news there. Now, if you didn't see this, this was the release that Inibills were kind of hinting at there last week, and it is classed as the Hunter. Right, it's an Apache-inspired Hunter helicopter, and it's coming in from QwikFlight, coming very soon to the sim. Now, I haven't got it yet, hoping to get my hands on it soon. QwikFlight, well, they're back with a new project. This time they're heading into the helicopter territory, which they haven't done one before, considering they gave us the Spirit and the Bone, the B2 and B1 bombers, right, which mixed reviews. But this one is the QwikFlight Hunter, and it is, of course, a unmistakable take on the iconic Apache aircraft, right? So there was a trailer for this and it looked absolutely incredible. Like, they did great work with the trailer. And yes, if you're wondering, weapons have been modelled on this aircraft. They don't do much, but like, it looks the job, right? And you can see certainly from the rendition shots that we have with, like, you know, the shape of the aircraft, the reflections, and indeed the sound, this thing does look very, very impressive. In particular, the trailer looked friggin' awesome. Highlight here clearly the combat system as well. I mean, that's what it is. It's a helicopter gun, right? It's a gunship, and includes your cannon, missiles, rockets, the whole shebang. There is a bit of a video here. We might show you this briefly because if you didn't see it, lads, you're missing out. It looks the job, right? It's like, so it's rare as DCS. Do you know what I mean? So we'll play this for a minute, and that could work. Imagine this on VATSIM. You know, Dublin Tower, Apache 235 on the north ramp, information, Jesus, IF4 to M. Brilliant. Looks very impressive, lads, doesn't it? So this is very much in the works. It's on the way very, very soon, and I'm hoping to get my hands on this to give you a preview. But as you can see from the trailer, there's a lot of work gone into the avionics and the mission system, and of course, the sounds have been provided by none other than Echo 19. Very, very excited about this. So we don't have a firm release date yet. We're told it's coming soon, right? Information, Jesus, is current. So yeah, as soon as I can get my hands on this, we'll fire it up on a stream and we'll dive into it. It does look very impressive though. So I'm excited for this. Like it's apart from the combat capabilities, the Apache was like a remarkable aircraft. This isn't the Cobra, but this was more so than the Cobra. Remarkable, right? Can't fly helicopters that well, but I'm picking this up 100%. And stick with the choppers, lads. They are a lot of fun and they're rewarding once you kind of figure them out, you know. So moving on, FlightFX, they've wrapped up the C750 development with major final updates before release. This is an aircraft we can expect to see very, very soon. Based, of course, on the Cessna Citation X project, it's called the C750, and they're putting the finishing touches on their most complete aircraft yet. When FlightFX say that, you know this is going to be big. So this is shaping up to be a standout entry into the world of bizjets. The latest update, FlightFX have outlined a broad set of refinements focused on the visuals, the systems, and also the platform compatibility. Full retexturing of the cabin interior has been completed. New material maps bring added depth and realism, and a whole load of other features. Some of these photos, lads, they're like real world. You'd be like, what? This looks gorgeous. 4 sec Shark, good to see you, buddy. This does look absolutely gorgeous, doesn't it? So yeah, I'm very, very much looking forward to this. And FlightFX, if you're not familiar with them, they brought us the original Vision Jet, amongst other bits and bobs as well. This looks beautiful, right? And yeah, I'm looking forward to taking this for a whirl in Microsoft Flight Sim very, very soon. So the autopilot and career mode, one point might disappoint some users of 2024. The C750 won't be fully compatible with the new Sims career mode at launch. It is something they want to do. They've also seen that when it came to the P180, right, the Piaggio that we flew there last week. They're saying, look, it's just too challenging to resolve this under the current SDK. But FlightFX say that they spent close to 3 weeks isolating and testing it, but ultimately deciding not to delay the release of the aircraft. So you're going to get the aircraft first, and then it should then start rolling in after that. The Honda Jet, of course, the H-Jet from Marwan. Marwan works with FlightFX. They have a great team there, very passionate. And of course, that P180, first time they looked at turbojets, and as in a turboprop, this one does look incredibly good. So I'm really, really looking forward to this. Release candidates ready for 2020 and 2024. So I would say expect this soon. Again, I'd say we're probably within a month, give or take, of this release. So I'm really looking forward to this. Moving on, AnyBuilds gave an update to their Spartan 7W executive. A number of fixes. So they fixed the elevator trim tab, fixed the right-hand wing flap rivets that were detached. A couple of bugs that I found with it. They've updated the improved startup sound, updated a number of things. So if you do have the Spartan executive aircraft from AnyBuilds, do be sure to go into your AnyBuilds manager, the INI manager, and you can grab the free update there. It's now on version 1.04. So I just thought we'd add that in there for the Spartan. Beautiful plane, the Spartan. And any of the issues that I kind of came across with it, they've all been addressed here and then some. So it's great to see. Now, news here straight off the shelf from Miltech Simulations. They've released their latest dev blog. This is number 4, and it's focusing, of course, on the MH60. Prior to release, this is the last bit of news we're getting. Writing these takes significant time away from fixing bugs, but that being said, there will be one dev blog focused on the Miltech Mission Hub in the upcoming weeks. That Mission Hub, we spoke about it a week or two ago. Absolutely staggering in what they're working on to bring into the world of Microsoft Flight Sim. And with the MH60, I mean, this helicopter looks absolutely gorgeous. They're stunning, right? But anyway, as of today, 100% completion of the S variant, Art and Liveries, the R and the T variant, 100% completion of the flight physics. They're 97% complete on the systems, avionics, and the final integration. The sounds are ready to go, and testing is progressively steady on both PC and Xbox for both Flight Sim 2020 and 2024. Sean Fitz, good to see you. Heisenberg, welcome in. Practically Geek, good to see you, man. How are you keeping? The Mission Hub also undergoing some testing with the key network components currently being evaluated in production environment. But basically what that Mission Hub is, in case you've missed it, it's kind of similar to what you'd have in DCS combined with Arma. It allows you to create missions within the sim environment. You have a little mission maker and you can say, you know, spawn an aircraft at this location. When I get to this coordinate, I want you to, like, you know, blow something up. It's very kind of, it's class, right? And you can share these missions with other people, and it's class, right? And that has its own roadmap. Very exciting news. But anyway, the good news here is the chopper is very much on the way. Over the past 2 weeks, focusing on resolving 3 major blocking issues of the aircraft: the map gauge crashes, key set gauge malfunctions, and also WASM related problems. And when I see WASM related problems, and you only have to look at other streamers, right? WASM is causing all sorts of hell still on Microsoft Flight Sim, not just on 2024, but also back in 2020 as well. The WebAssembly thing, right? It's problematic, and there's no doubt Microsoft are very aware of this, and so, and they're trying to, get this sorted. But it seems to be adding in a lot of problems for developers. So hopefully that's going to be resolved soon. But the unexpected nature of software development, the blog goes into it more. It's actually a good old insight figuring out what it is, like hidden complexity. And I'm sure SWS will chime in on this as well. Features that seem fairly straightforward, such as map systems or whatever, well, they often uncover deep technical challenges, especially when interacting with stock systems or undocumented behavior within the sim. Right? And that's a huge part. We don't hear an awful lot of that. We wonder what developers are doing and why is it taking them so long. Everything that they would have learned up to this point, when they try and replicate it, well, the sim now is like, yeah, you're not doing that. And they're like, wait, what? Do you know? So there's a huge challenge there. So it's an interesting insight to see where they're at. But anyway, this is all very, very exciting. I can't wait to see this aircraft up and running. And of course, you can see the all the planner here, the mission mode stuff. Look, that's where you can add in the stuff. At this area or this waypoint, I want you to do this, right? I still can't believe we tricked Sand into thinking, if I'm honest. What do you mean? Not too bad. 2 weeks of holiday blues, you poor old devil. But sure, listen, we're back now. Put the head down, it should be grand. The M60 will accept flight plans up to 100 waypoints. Jesus. So they're also going to be at FlightSim Expo, which is great news as well. So good stuff from Miltech. Now tonight, an aircraft we're going to check out, it's from Simulations. They have released Izmir version 2 for Microsoft Flight Sim, right? And if you want an intro and how complex doing a simple map can be, the right guy will be here soon, right? That's from Alex at Simwork Studios. After 5 years since they first released the original Izmir airport, Simulations have released an upgraded version of their first ever project, now with compatibility for flights in 2024. And Izmir Airport, it's the primary international gateway for Turkey's third largest city. The airport is named after the former Turkish Prime Minister, who was in power from 1950 to 1960. And, well, some of the render shots we see here look very, very impressive. We're going to be checking this one out live on the stream. If you've already owned Izmir version 1, there is an upgrade path. It is a paid upgrade. There is a discount. I think you get like $10 off. If not, you can pick this up directly for about $24, give or take. All right, so they are charging you for a version 2, but it's similar to what we've seen with MK Studios, right? I mean, this was an old airport, completely rebuilt. They put their development time into it, and now they have a brand new product. And there's an update or an upgrade path to give you a discount, which is great, right? Anil is here. Good to see you. It's my home airport. Very promising work from Simulations. Absolutely. Simulations, we followed them from their very first airport release, and gradually you can see where their sceneries are getting better and better and better, and like they don't shout about things much. They just say, right, we're working on this, and then they stop and they go back to their old stuff and say, right, let's bring this up. I love seeing it, and they really do interesting airports. Spartan VR, good to see it. You were stationed here in the early 1970s. Ooh, nice. Sand is what Chip Stratus start out at, and then Sand now does AI. Oh, yeah. Oh, true. What's interesting is that after a few prompts, AI starts thinking like Sand again. Brilliant. That's great news anyway. Simulations Izmir. We're going to be checking this one out a little bit later on tonight's stream. MK Studios releasing Dusseldorf for Flight Sim 20 and 2024 this week. Now, we've already seen a release of Dusseldorf. This came from Aerosoft for Flight Sim 2024. And Aerosoft today, I believe, have just released their 2020 version of Dusseldorf. So they're putting their elbows out and saying, we're doing this first. MK Studios have been working on this airport for some time. And it's due to be released this coming Thursday. And the major base airline for Eurowings, the airport also welcomes a multitude of international carriers with flights to North America, Europe, and as far as the Middle East. The MK Studios rendition of it was very, very nice. We checked out Aerosoft's, and I thought that was very, very nice indeed. But that's another developer, MK Studios. I mean, they're lashing out the sceneries. And again, they're getting better and better. I mean, look at the newest updates for the likes of, say, Dublin. You know, MK are doing top-notch work. They really are. I hate sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere. Plus, I had to read that line with a straight face. Be grand. But yeah, Dusseldorf is now on the way from MK Studios. And as I said, well, you know, Aerosoft very much trying to jump on the bandwagon first. And that's got to be difficult for developers. I get it, right? I mean, you spend so much time working on a project and then all of a sudden, you know, a competitor comes to the table with something else. Right? What can you do? Moving on, Verticalsim. They've cancelled Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. What? Cancelled? Scenery developer Verticalsim have announced the cancellation of Fort Lauderdale for Microsoft Flight Sim despite significant progress already made. The decision was made after careful consideration, citing technical and logistical challenges. The project was originally announced just shy of a year ago. In a statement posted over on Facebook, Verticalsim explained the airport's complexity, lack of detailed reference material, and a shifting market expectation has made the project no longer viable to complete at the quality level the team demands. The developer reaffirmed a commitment to quality over quantity, emphasising a refusal to rush or cut corners in scenery development. That's interesting. Looking ahead, Verticalsim's focus will now shift to completing their Palm Beach International Airport and outlining a more structured roadmap for 2025. The aim is to continue delivering high-quality airport experiences that align with the evolving expectations of the flight sim community. One thing I will say, sceneries are becoming more expensive. Just notice that. They just are. Now, I know that's inflation and all the rest, but things are starting to go up. We're noticing that. But anyway, now global AI shipping traffic, or GAST, or GAIST, version 7 is now available. And this a fairly big update, right? After a long hiatus, global AI global AI ship traffic, sound out, Murph. Well, it's finally back, and this time it's version 7, a significant update that brings thousands of ships, improved performance, and a renewed compatibility for both Flight Sim 20 and 2024. Developer Heinrich Nelson has now released version 7. It's a hugely popular freeware add-on, which is available to grab over on flightsim.to. The latest version brings significant improvements to both platforms, including tens of thousands of ship movements, updated and new vessel models, enhanced performance, and partial support for live traffic in Flight Sim 2024. It's one of the most comprehensive versions of the product yet, and a welcome return for a project that has helped transform the simulator's maritime world. What's new? Well, 80,000 pre-programmed ship movements, increased traffic density in the key areas such as Alaska, the Gulf of Mexico, Asia, Persian Gulf, the North Sea, and also the Bay of Biscay. Wind farm friendly adjustments, especially in the North Sea. New vessel models. Over 1,000 unique ships with 2,400 liveries. These include Coast Guard cutters, fishing boats from multiple nations, and previously unused ships have been activated, and good to see that. There's also new performance improvements thanks to LOD updates and retirement of outdated assets, ensuring a more modern, polished visual experience. I saw a comment the other day on the dev stream. Or was it, I can't remember where I saw it, but someone had said, hey, can you remove the Gaia Simulations marking on the ships, right, that are in the sim? They said it's an immersion breaker, right? And is it? I don't know, but these have their own models, right? So, and they're using liveries that you would see in the real world. And this is freeware, lads, right? Now, it does work in Flight Sim 24, however, some caveats. Henrik confirmed that it also functions with 2024, but support for live ship traffic it's still quite limited due to the way the simulator currently handles real-time data. Asobo have introduced basic ship tracking, but it's not yet close to the level that Nielsen and Kai from AIG developed previously in collaboration with the Fleetmon. That said, simmers using this can expect roughly 2,000 ships coded for live traffic, adding some movement and realism, varied ship presence at ports and anchorage areas, especially around places like Singapore and Panama, some dynamic movement, largely dependent on the quality of flow, model mismatches due to reduced set of ship categories, and unusual behaviour like moored ships misaligned with the key, a byproduct of unreliable AIS positioning. Henrik also highlights some current limitations, such as the lack of the IMO number integration with the sim. This means there's no way to achieve a perfect model to ship match, and the ferry routes in particular may show some unexpected substitutions. You know, the small little Talbot to, you know, the small tiny little ferry, it'll probably have the QE2. But anyway, there are moments of remarkable realism, like the container ship NCL Salton, which recently ran aground near Trondheim in real life, can actually be seen stranded in the sim, because remember, it's using the AIS data, it's using real world data to position these ships, and this, in the real world, a ship that ran aground, well, it is modelled in the sim. That's pretty mad, isn't it? Like, that is wild, do you know? Remember your man who blocked the friggin' canal? You know, that's pretty cool. But anyway, this is a free update. You can pick it up over on flightsim.to. I'll go ahead, open the link and pop you over to it, lads. It's actually version 7. If you want to grab it, give it a blast. It will populate more vessels into your scenery, including, you know, Lola on the yacht and other things. So, this is cool if you're flying helos in and around, or if you're flying in by coastal areas, just to go looking. Or maybe perhaps you want to take a boat. You know, you can take a boat out in Flight Sim. You know, it was the wrong way around, Nightsep. Yeah, it was the wrong way around. Unplayable. Now, Aerosoft outlines major Microsoft Flight Sim scenery plans with updates and new airports for both platforms. So Dusseldorf is be out, Frankfurt, Stuttgart, and then we're getting Paris. Charles de Gaulle is coming for Microsoft Flight Sim. So they've been flat out Aerosoft this year. Dusseldorf has already been released, and 2020 was made available today. And Frankfurt gets a major performance overhaul and Terminal 3 being added. And Paris Charles de Gaulle enters development. How has it taken this long to get Charles de Gaulle Airport? I just couldn't tell you. But anyway, Aerosoft now taking on the challenge of delivering a new high-fidelity version of Charles de Gaulle that's being described internally as a flagship scenery for the team. No timeline yet, of course, but a few points stand out. It's going to be developed specifically for Flight Sim 24 using the upgraded and rendering optimizations. Performance will be focused from the outset, and progress will be shared incrementally, suggesting a more transparent development cycle, right? What does emerge from Aerosoft's 25 roadmap is a fairly clear strategy, prioritising Flight Sim 24, but keep 2020 users in the loop when possible. That's the direction of where they're going. So yeah, I think Charles de Gaulle is going to be, I mean, everyone, like, can you imagine? Well, do the real world do VATSIM controllers do what the real world French lads do? Are we all going to go to Paris and, like, have to use Unicom? Right? I'm just asking now, I don't know, but that'd be real then, you know. Anyway, moving on. SimBrief, Navograph have been busy here. SimBrief have added dynamic weather avoidance, ETOPS routing, SidStar previews, and more in a major update that has been released now here in May. So, SimBrief, the go-to virtual dispatch tool for flight simmers all around the world, just rolled out one of its most significant updates in recent memory. Whether you're flying short distance or planning a transatlantic crossing, the latest update delivers smarter, faster, and more flexible planning designed to help more real-world-like complexity with less stress on the user, because now you can avoid certain areas, and it's going to tell you, you know, there's segments here you need to avoid, there's routes here you need to avoid, and so on, right? The new route calculator, it's faster, it's smarter, and it's more intuitive. The biggest change under the hood, the new routing engine calculates flight plans in seconds instead of minutes, and how it handles complex scenarios like avoiding specific airspaces or weather-related restrictions with improved reliability. It's also better optimized for free route airspace, giving more efficient routes and results across Europe and elsewhere. And you can see from the screenshots here, there's a lot of changes now gone in to the user interface. On their announcement, the SimBrief team exemplifies flying out of Salt Lake City to Atlanta with with convective signets along the route. You can now instruct SimBrief to avoid those areas or typing specific identifiers directly into the route calculator, and the tool will automatically generate a new route around the selected hazards. That's pretty handy. The same applies for ETOPS for the restricted aircraft. Users ferrying older types or models certified outside of the ETOPS requirements, like the MD-80, you can now avoid the extended operation stuff airspace entirely with a single drop down. Russian airspace has also been added as a predefined exclusion, which is, real world stuff. SIDS and star previews and filtering, you can now preview these directly through SimBrief, so you can actually get an idea where you're going to be arriving or departing from. Links up all the little dots, and each procedure is labelled as valid, discouraged or invalid based on the selected runway. Equipment and ATC remarks editing have now been streamlined. The equipment code and ATC remarks have been updated as well. Rather than typing out ICAO codes manually, users can now edit the values using pop-up builders. For instance, when planning a fully equipped A350, you can visually select every relevant capability, CPDLC, ACARS, SATCOM, etc. from the drop-down list. And this is all a free update, right? Great news here. So it's a much better planning experience across the board. It is great stuff from SimBrief, who are part of the Navigraph group. So great news there. Now, one thing I'm hoping to see from Navigraph is an update to their online traffic injectors with Navigraph. I don't know, is it because they're working on things, but I have noticed over the last couple of flights, it seems to be losing data connecting to the likes of VATSIM. It's not showing all the aircraft. The updates just aren't happening quick enough. You look at your map, there's some aircraft, then others disappear. I'd like to see them kind of, hopefully that's going to be the next area that they work on. But this is a free update. SimBrief, the entire platform is free, lads. And it's not just for the airliners. It's not just for IFR. You can plan VFR stuff using this as well. It's quite good. Falconer, good to see you, buddy. DGS is here. Welcome in. We're nearly there. Simming Sav, welcome aboard. Quick recap on last week. We covered it last week on our show, but it's just to do, very quickly where we at from the most recent dev stream from Microsoft Flight Simulator. The focus is very much now on Sim Update 3. Right, and they're expecting that to come out in and around August, and things that they're working on now seems to be a lot of the model matching issues, more bug fixes, and they're trying to just tighten down the batches. An interesting thing here, we had a quick look at this GeForce Now and usage data. Right, so GeForce Now, I'm surprised that they're flogging this because we're sure Microsoft have their own Xbox Cloud Gaming. Maybe it works better on this, I'm not sure, but it's in one way, it's odd that they're saying it. In another way, they're being very transparent to say, well, look, GeForce, NVIDIA are behind this, and they've built it, and it's working, and they've added our title to it. I think it's good. Like, for Jorg, he wants maximum saturation for the sim. He wants it accessible to everyone. That's his goal. I want everyone to be able to try this sim. Get into aviation. That's what he wants, right? And I think if it's going this direction, this is kind of... I still think we're going to see Flight Sim on a PlayStation. I'm telling you it's going to happen. When? I don't know. But this is very much ticking boxes on that road. And it's using GeForce Now. Local content download, of course. We're going to be able to download our stuff, scenery, aircraft, all that kind of good stuff. The peripheral setup, 28 fixes landed on Sim Update 2, but I think they've completely and utterly shagged the control profile thing because it takes too long between updating your controls. We've all seen it, right? It's the little things that really get us. Multiplayer liveries compatibility, they're going to improve those, right? ATC updates and also AI traffic behavior. And then the world data alignment, they're actually able to take the data, which is Flight Sim 2024, they had Lionel on to chat about this. They can take the 2024 data and now they can transfer it and ingest it into 2020, which is quite staggering. Right, and that's brilliant. That means your 2020 is actually going to be getting somewhat of a facelift when it comes to the scenery that's being pulled down from the cloud. Great news all around. The biggest news in this, I thought, right, outside of the marketplace, rentals are coming online soon, and there's a new city update for Providence, right? Well, it's the northeast of the US that's on the way, and they're chatting about the Embraer Praetor 600 series aircraft. They said that they weren't going to be attending Flight Sim Expo, which would be North America's largest flight simulation convention. They said, look, we just want to make sure that we're going to be doing all the work to make sure all the bugs are sorted. Then I saw this news. Microsoft to attend South America's Flight Sim Exposition. I was like, what? Who? I thought they were busy. So Microsoft recently confirming its attended at Expo, you have to excuse the pronunciation here, Aviation Virtual 2025, which is South America's first flight simulation exposition. Very exciting. Now in its second edition, with a much larger scope, it expects up to 2,000 visitors within the 2-day run and a much larger number of speakers and brands. The first edition welcomed big names in the industry such as PMDG, SayIntentions, Azul Airlines, and popular scenery developers from Brazil. They now intend on expanding their international reach for 2025, with Microsoft now confirming their presence. Talks are still in place with other global leaders in simulation and training. Right? Over 14 expert speakers already confirmed for the event, including many Brazilian aviation figures from both simulation and real-life spectrum, sharing their experience and knowledge with all the attendees. The event stands out for their inclusive approach, offering half-price ticket to attendees who donate 1 kilogram of non-perishable food, which will be donated to charity. Furthermore, they will be welcoming deaf pilots who will share their stories with the audience. The Expo Aviation Virtual will be held between November 22nd and 23rd at the shopping centre in the Avenida Paulista in Sao Paulo. There we go now. But, Gibbo, my words exactly. Okay, the timing of this is November. Fair enough. Like, that's what, 5 months after Flight Sim Expo? But I thought this was a bit of a, yes, we're not asked going to Flight Sim Expo, but we're going to go here instead. Like, what? Do you know what I mean? I just thought this was odd. They're like, right, well, we're not going to bother with Flight Sim Expo. We're going to go to South America instead. Now, listen, if it was a case that, okay, lads, you can only do one of them, but like, we're not talking about, Twatter Agencies Limited or, I Own a Farm Limited. What's the word you use in America for limited companies? You're not talking about a small, teeny, tiny organisation. You're talking about Microsoft here, lads. What, you can't afford it? What? Great LLC, there you go. They can't do both? Very, very strange. But anyway, great news for this one in South America. It's exciting, right? Because anything that brings awareness to our hobby, this is good news, lads. It's good news. And we know there's a lot of flight simmers in Brazil. Loads of them, But I just thought it was a bit, So, lads, we all now need to go to Brazil. It'll be grand, totally fine. Bring a Hawaiian shirt. Brazilians love them. And, right, get yourself ready. But, I thought this was odd. I was like, wait, hang on. Like, they're not going to Flight Sim Expo, but they're going. I just thought it was freaking nuts. Good time to release Praetor. Restoring, that's probably where it's at. They're probably, like, this is, eternally... Let's be frank about it. I'll still be Murph. They're probably going to be in that neck of the woods anyway, considering they're working with Embraer. And they're probably saying, do you know what? We're going to be there. Close enough. Yeah, we can do that. Do you know what I mean? But I just thought it was interesting news. We get a slap in the face to say, well, they're not going to Flight Sim Expo. And then you see, like, a week later, Microsoft to attend South America's Flight Sim Exposition. What? But anyway, it is great news. And, well, fair play to the Brazilian lads. If Microsoft are going there, great, brilliant. I just thought it was odd for, Flight Sim Expo. But anyway, moving on. I had a quick look at the website here. This is their website. This is the, the Brazilian or the South American exposition. And South America's only Flight Sim event. It looks pretty cool, right? What to expect from it? What we'd expect from any sort of an expo. And they've a whole load of different dudes and dudettes and whatever else who are going to be there chatting about things and all the stuff. That's what they do, right? Great bunch of lads. Do you know? So, yeah. I wonder how they're going to do, like, media stuff. Do they want people there covering? I don't know. We'll ask them. Or maybe you've been to this. If anyone in the channel has been in at this event last year, is it any good, lads? It's exciting to see it, though, for sure. Anyway, last bit of news coming up. Sorry now to SWS, I'm keeping them waiting. They're like, Murphy, for God's sake, X-Plane 12 got an update. We were streaming this today. Beta 6 has now been released, and with that, well, it's fixed everything that I have, right? And what else do we have? As always, Laminar Research strongly recommends that users of the beta check or remove any existing mods. Ha! Rubbish. A default install is highly recommended. Examples cited including that of the X-Crafts E-Jet, but they worked fine today. Right, and additionally, Laminar Research have pointed out several known issues and stated no need to report them. They know they're in there, and they're going to get them fixed. Cloud flickering that we've seen. Cloud shadows can appear. We've seen cloud artifacts. Well, we've seen all that. So they're still working. There's going to be a beta 7. And then I reckon they're going to be into release candidates, I would say. But X-Plane, as I'm sure you probably looked at it earlier on, you probably thought, Jesus, you know, it actually looks good. It does look good. It's a beautiful looking simulator. And it's great to see this level of work going into it. I had an absolute blast today flying the X-Crafts Embraer 1000E, the Lineage. And then we took the AW139 out to land on various ships. I had a blast doing it. And it's great to get that experience on a different sim, you know. Now, speaking of other sims, Eagle Dynamics have released a world update, and this now includes the quick action generator, right? Eagle Dynamics releasing DCS World Update 2.9.16.10523. They should give them names instead of numbers. This is update, Alan, delivering a long list of fixes and improvements across multiple modules and the systems. The update is highlighted by the introduction of the Quick Action Generator. It's a feature designed to replace the former Create Fast mission tool, and it's all about streamlining mission setup. Again, you'd be like a goat looking at thunder, trying to figure out how that works if it's the first time you've ever used it. This is better news. Other notable changes include AI and terrain engine improvements, updated visual systems, and continued development on modules such as the F-18, the F-16, the Apache, the Phantom, and more. Numerous campaigns have also received minor fixes. The full changelog is available over on the Eagle Dynamics website for DCS. The core of it, there's a ton of stuff here. Data transfer cartridge, the updates to all the aircraft as well. So yeah, DCS, by the way, that is a free flight simulator platform. You pay for the modules. So when you sign up to DCS, you get it for free. You get one free aircraft and I think one free map, right? And then you can buy maps and aircraft after that. So you know what I mean? If you've never tried it, try it. It's for free. And there's also free aircraft in the gadgets. There's a great free F4 in it, I think, or A4. Do you know? The quick action generator takes forever though. Oh, does it? Brilliant. Do goats even look at thunder? I saw a goat looking at thunder one day, yeah. I asked him, are you looking at thunder? Right. But anyway, thus be it the news, ladies and gentlemen. There's other stuff going on in the background. I will have more news next week, of course. But now, friends, it's time to press some buttons. And I'm going to jump into this chat here now. Hang on there now. I'm excited for this. I hope it works and I don't break it. Am I in the right chat? Hello. Are you ready? Do you remember, what was your man's name out of Gladiators? The referee. Gladiators ready. Right, I'm gonna press some buttons. Haven't done one of these in a while. Where's my button now? It's kind of like, isn't it? There's that button.
1850 715 815. Hello, good afternoon. You're very welcome to TwoToneMurphy.
Right, John Anderson. Yeah, that was it. I am. Start the call. Wait now. Hello? We have many hellos.
Hello, gentlemen.
Good evening. Welcome in, gentle peoples.
Howdy.
Hello.
We have a team of people here now. So who do we have? We'll introduce you. So we have on the name on the screens. We have, who do we have actually? We have, how do we pronounce this? Is it Aphrodite? I could pronounce that terribly wrong. Is it Every? Alex, introduce the team there, will you?
This is Evripidis.
Say it again?
Yes.
Evripidis.
Evripidis. That's a great name. You're very welcome.
Precisely, yeah.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And who else do we have here? Gabriel is here. I think.
Hello.
Good to
Murphy.
see you.
How are you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I heard you talking about Brazil in the last 5 minutes.
their own expo. Have you ever been there?
No, I haven't been there in the last year, but who knows? I'm there this year. I live very far. You know, Brazil is a very big country, but
Who
I
knows?
try to be there. Meet my guys. I know most of them
Oh,
on the
sweet.
internet, but not in person.
Okay. And we also have two cats.
Evening.
Ah, there he is now. Yeah, there's no pictures, lads. I asked the lads to do like a studio printout before they came on, like a calendar. They all said no, but they're on voice only, so you get to imagine what the lads look like, and it's all terribly fun.
Off the top of my head, it's a family-friendly channel, right?
It is. I'll keep your shirt on. And, right? But come here, you're all very welcome in. Today, lads, we're chatting about your latest development. And this is based on the Airvan. And it's loaded up here in FlightSim 24. It's looking beautiful. Beautiful model. I haven't touched it. I literally only got this a few minutes ago. But what I have looked at, I am very much getting the Kodiak vibes, right? It's a very similar looking aircraft, high wing and all the rest. But I suppose, Alex, if you want to give us kind of like an overview, and then guys, you just chime in and let us know. I'll start moving around the aircraft. If you want to start talking about it, the development, maybe the challenges, and also what sort of features we might be able to expect with this aircraft.
Oh, there were no development challenges with the Airvan. We started the plane 4 years ago and rebuilt it from scratch three times so far.
4 years
to get
ago?
Where it is today. Yeah, I think it was 2021, maybe 3 years ago.
Wow.
So what we're looking at is the 2020 version of the Airvan in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And right from the get-go, it has a lot of features that are native in 2024, but they work in 2020 in our case, like the walk-around, pitot covers, dirt and weathering effects. But let's talk about the plane a bit. So the Airvan is like a small version of the Kodiak, piston-powered, a utility plane that can carry a lot of stuff. It's a very roomy aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a middle ground between a 172 and a plane like the Kodiak.
Okay.
It's very cheap to operate, and it can work on very harsh environments. It was built for that purpose exactly. So on to our edition of the plane. This is a testbed for a lot of new features. So we have our own custom walk-around. Like I said before, we have our own shocks. It's a very detailed exterior model built off of a lot of photos of the real plane. Unfortunately, we didn't have 3D scans, but we did a very good job with the photos that we've had.
Mm-hmm.
Authentic sound coming from the real airplane. We have, again, cargo pod and no cargo pod variant with luggage being visible in the cargo pod. Passenger and cargo interior. One of the things we've added to the Airvan is persistence. So if you forget, for example, your sunshades down, they will stay down until the next time you come in the plane.
Nice.
The dirt and weathering will persist over time. So you'll find the plane exactly like you left it.
Nice.
On the cockpit front, it's an analog panel. It's a single pilot aircraft, so all the instruments are on the left side. The right side is reserved mostly for the light and switches. We have 3 GPS options, GNS, GTN, and GTN-XI, and an optional autopilot, which I'm sure that most people will not remove from the cockpit. And finally, we have a tablet, which Evripidis and Tukas have been working on for quite a few months, and that's going to find its way into many of our other planes.
Oh,
but
nice.
I won't say much about that one. I'd rather you see it and show it.
Sweet.
Because it's a very different approach to what we're used to.
Awesome. So,
Now,
Alex, tell me, sorry, just interrupt. Tell me, why the Airvan? Why this aircraft? I mean, have you any kind of connection to it, or was it just something you thought it's a nice plane?
So after we did the Zenith and the Kodiak, and we also did the Okavango Delta back in 2022,
Mm-hmm.
The Airvan was like a good middle ground between the Kodiak and the smaller planes, and it was a perfect fit for safari flying. There was a show called Bush Flyers, I think, Bush Pilots,
Mm-hmm.
which featured flying into safaris, and there were a lot of airmen operating that area. So it was kind of both getting our first good big piston plane in the game, but also fulfilling the fantasy of flying a rugged bush plane with a piston engine in the backcountry.
Okay, okay. It looks gorgeous.
Oh, I see some nice questions in the chat. Pequeño, am I pronouncing it right?
I can't listen. I've been calling him PQ for ages. I can't even pronounce it. PQ, it's grand. What's new and improved that was never developed before? That's a great question. Like, have you found stuff on this that you were like, okay, you've mentioned the tablet. We'll go through the tablet. But what about the aircraft itself? I mean, you're a long time looking at this project and building it. So the challenges, I suppose, is there anything new in this? I mean, is it the fact that you've managed to get so many 2024 features that we're now kind of accustomed to? You've managed to get these into a 2020 aircraft.
Yes, so there are some visual features. For example, in 2020 planes, deformable tires did not exist until AzurPoly put them in their Bronco.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're only the second plane, for example, to have deformable tires. I think we are if not the first, the second plane that has a full walk around of the aircraft in FS20. There are custom cargo loads. Instead of having just crates like the Kodiak and the PC-12, in the Airvan you can pick what you're going to load in the cabin and load it where you want it.
Oh, nice.
And another thing that people have been asking for are failures, which are an optional expansion pack. It will work on top of the base Airvan. It will be a separate purchase, and it will introduce proper failures to the aircraft. Right now we've got, off the top of my head, about 76 failures. They can go up to 83 in total, but doesn't really matter. It's more than 70. And these can either be triggered from the tablet or they can happen organically with wear and tear over time. And there are also cascading failures. For example, the engine has an accessory gearbox underneath it, which powers the oil pump, it powers the starter, and it also spins the generator. So if for some reason the accessory gearbox fails, be that its time has come or that an oil chip has slipped through the oil filter and gotten into it, you will lose all of these subsystems. And if you lose all of these subsystems, then you're also losing other stuff. Like, for example, if you lose your oil pump, you lose your engine lubrication. And that can cause even more problems than you had 30 seconds ago.
Okay, and the failure options, that's going to be it's a separate product, right? It's an add-on, as you've mentioned. So the base aircraft will come with your normal flying machine, and then users who want the failures, that extra realism, if you like, that's an upgrade. It's an add-on to this aircraft.
Exactly. It's like we promised with the PC-12, and by the way, it's coming to the PC-12 as well.
Mm-hmm.
The base plane will be, let's say, at the depth of the PC-12, so you get full systems, you get a fully operating aircraft, good flight model, authentic sounds, and if you're looking to get in trouble, buy the failure module as well.
Nice. Okay, well, I mean, visually looking around it, I mean, I haven't seen this thing yet, so I mean, I'm enjoying what I'm looking at. There is some savage detail here, like especially by the windows here. I mean, look at that! Look, Jesus. There's savage detail going into this. So I suppose, where are you at in terms of release? I mean, not to get an actual date from you, but like, it looks very much thereabouts. Are we talking it's a matter of weeks at this stage?
So initially the release was planned for late April, early May.
Mm-hmm.
The current release date is June 25th. And why is it so late? So that's for FS20, and FS24 will come a little bit later as a free update to people that buy the FS20 plane.
Okay.
We want to give our testers some more time to break the plane, to make sure that the failures fail like they should and there are no bugs left. And we also want to make sure that we iron out the tablet as good as possible, because that thing will go into our other planes. So we want to get this right on the Airvan, which is a much simpler airplane, get it proper, and then transfer all of the failures and the tablet and all the technology into the other planes.
And just to be clear, this aircraft that I have loaded in, this is inside Flight Sim 2024, lads. So the 2020 version will work just fine in 2024, just to be clear on that. And then later, a native 2024 aircraft will get in there. Like, is there anything, Alex, like, what would be missing, if you like, from a 2024 variant? Is it just how the aircraft is built, as in modular? Or are there features beyond the scope currently on 2020 that you can bring into 24?
Good question. So the main thing is the walk around and career mode. So for the walk around with the 2020 version of the plane, you need to do the walk around from the cockpit camera instead of the avatar camera. So you're just sliding the camera out of the cockpit and you can click the covers, the chocks, and the oil dipstick and everything else. In 2024, you'll be able to do it in walk around mode. So that is one functional change that is going to come with 2024. The other thing is career mode. So in 2024, we will have the FS24 passengers, the FS24 cargo, the skydivers. Some of this is already working. We already have a 2024 build internally, which we're using to put these features in. And you will have career mode plus some features that are 2024 specific. For example, dirt and grime on the plane is done much better, much more efficiently in 2024 than it is in 2020. So all of this stuff, all of this art will be reworked from scratch for 2024.
Nice.
It's
So
much more flexible in these regards.
yeah. Come here, do you know what's a good sign? I'm looking at this now for a good solid 8 minutes. I found me first issue, and it's not even a big one. You have a floating screw on the right wing. That's all. Like,
Let me get a screenshot of that.
look, brilliant, right? But like, to be fair, you're like Raoul. It's like you won't find anything. It's like, Jesus, I go looking now in places. It's like I'm a good 10 minutes nearly going through this, and that's the only thing I've seen that's. And that's not even like, who looks up there, but this is so well put together even just now. I think the aircraft itself, for me, it's just missing the connection, as in I need to know more about it. I need to know its story. As you said, the inspiration was definitely there when you were looking at the Okavango stuff. You know, you were looking at the application of this aircraft in the real world. That's all that I'm missing. I mean, I can see it's a beautifully built aircraft. The model is class. Considering you didn't have access to the aircraft, as in you weren't able to scan it or do any of that jazz, this is all from reference photographs on how it was built. And this is quite staggering what's done. Like, even the shape of the wings, they're a high wing, but like, they're not level. They kind of teeter up towards the wingtips. I mean, that's all captured here perfectly. And
the interesting story, there's an Airvan in the Netherlands, which we recorded.
Okay.
I think they're called Sisting Hochfliegers. I can't pronounce it properly, but they've got an interesting story, and we have permission to include their paint job. So what these guys are doing is they have an Airvan, which is used either as an air ambulance for kids or as a fun ride for kids. So they're taking children that are ill and getting them to the hospital quickly, or they're even taking them out for joyrides for free.
That's awesome. And they're close to Two Cats, I think. So, yeah, that was handy.
Yeah, I think Two Cats was near that plane for a few days.
And these are an Australian-built aircraft. I see Conti's in the chat. Good to see you, Conti. These are actually manufactured in Australia.
Yes, they were manufactured in Australia. They stopped manufacturing them a few years ago. They were only producing spare parts, but they had a lot of orders. They were used by U.S. Customs and Border Protection, by Civil Air Patrol, by numerous other operators around the world, and they might start manufacturing it again. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
It's a plane that's in use. That's actively in use.
Sweet.
They even have a turbocharged version, and they made a turbo pro version of it as well, the GA10.
The Airvan is flying 43 countries right now. It's all around the world. including the
43.
US. Yes. And
That's
as
a
you
lot
can,
of spare parts.
yeah, as you can see, Alex was talking about the plane in the Netherlands. They take the kids to flying these planes because look at the side of the windows. They are very big, so the kids can see all around it. They have a beautiful job there. I have some more information. I will put in the chat after. Everyone can look up to that. And the sounds were recorded.
Nice.
I think it went for a jolly last week because I saw it outside of work. It's the kids charity ones, ever so nice on the inside, and then they come in and the kids get all this sort of I'd almost call it superhero treatment because they come in and you've got all the crew round them, and sometimes they park the King Airs nearby as well, so they get like a full-blown aviation sort of overload. And yeah, it's mad when you see that thing pulling out,
That's
flanked
deadly.
between two King Airs, and then you got this little Airvan sat in the middle. It's such a contrasting image between the two things. It's mad.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's yeah, like it's right. Let's talk variants, right? Because I mean, there's more than one variant of this machine. This is, or maybe I'm. Tell us about the variants that, you know. Is it a standard cargo aircraft? I know we can choose to have the cargo pod underneath. I've seen two variants in the menu, so we've one with and one without.
So there is the cargo pod and the no cargo pod version. Internally, there's the passenger version and the cargo version, which is also the same as the skydive one. What was interesting is that the skydive version doesn't have any benches. We have a pilot who's flying Airvans in the UK who's testing the plane for us, and he's dropping skydivers in the UK. And I'm like, okay, what bench do we need to model for this? And he's like, there's no bench. They're sitting on the floor. They're hugging each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been that soldier. I was in a caravan doing that, a grand caravan, and you're loaded in like sardines. Like you're sitting in between the legs of the person behind you. Yeah, no benches. Sure, who needs benches where you're going? You're jumping out of the plane. Like, yeah, that's awesome. So, yeah, man, it's and even the door, I believe,
and that also saved us a bit of work.
Yeah, and the door is the same configuration from the skydiving, or is it a flap door up and down, or is it the same to the side?
No, it's the same exact door.
Yeah.
Same plane, same door. There's an optional hand grip that goes on top of the fuselage.
Mm-hmm.
So some planes have it, some don't. So some skydivers want to grab onto it, get photos, or set up for some acrobatics.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not included in the current model. We might add it later.
Okay. And right, well, I think what we need to do, we need to give it an old blast and see what the features are like. I think visually, lads, you've done a great job. It's beautiful looking. The modelling is spot on. It's an unusual looking airplane, as you say. Like, I mean, you're getting the vibes of the Kodiak, as you say. It's somewhere between a 172 and a Kodiak. It's probably somewhere between the Zenith and a Kodiak. I mean, it's not a million miles off. And yeah, look at that. It's coming out. Is it Morwell in Australia? That's awesome, look. And yeah, I'm loving the details on this. So yeah, what we might do, we might jump into the cockpit now and have a look at some of the features. Like, we can see here now, even on the rudder. So the rudder trim, I'm right in saying that's that kind of flexible bit of metal that's your trim, right? You move that prior to flight. Am I right in saying that?
Yep, that's
yes,
what it is.
essentially, that's a fixed trim tab. So they're rigging it on the plane once and for all, let's say. And it's set up for a particular range of cruise speeds. So there's no actual rudder trim. It's just the force coming from the plate that forces the rudder a little bit to the right and keeps the plane straight.
Now, that's great in the real world. If you got that trim wrong and you take off, it's going to be a long time before you can fix it. I mean, you have to land and adjust it. For us flight simmers, is there a way for us to adjust rudder trim from inside, or have you locked that as the real world aircraft?
No, it is locked. We calibrated it for the cruise speed range so that you need minimal or no pedal at all.
Okay.
The only adjustable trim on the Airvan is the elevator trim, which is an all-moving elevator. If you move a little bit to the front towards there you can see the hinge, the trapezoid below the elevator.
Uh-huh.
You can see the cutout above and the trapezoid below. So essentially the entire wing is moving up and down.
Okay, so similar to the Mooney, as in the whole tail will push forward or move back, yeah?
That's an excellent example. Yeah.
That's awesome. And also, Jays, that's very good, isn't it? So like, there's no, because I'm looking for trim tabs. It's like they don't exist. But it's the whole tail. It's not a stabilator, but is it a stabilator? But the whole tail unit will actually move. Because I was looking at it, I was thinking, why is the tail inside the empennage of the aircraft? But that's to allow it to move. I mean, this whole section here, actually, like a pendulum, it'll swing forward to give you that angle, right?
Yep, the entire thing will move. It's a very interesting setup, and it was also difficult to get reference to figure it out.
That's awesome. Very unique, or very rare, if you like. The Mooney is the only other aircraft I'm aware that it does that. So yeah, that's awesome. Sweet. Right. I think it is time to jump into this machine and see what it can do from a power up and all the jazz.
Are you in drone camera now or in cockpit camera and floating around?
I'm now gone into the actual cockpit camera. I was droning around, but now I've gone into the actual cockpit camera now.
If you want to, we can show some of the walk-around features of the aircraft and then jump into the tablet and the avionics and the plane itself.
Sounds good.
So let's move the camera out of the cockpit sideways and go to the engine. Yep, you're no longer locked in the cockpit exactly for that purpose.
Oh, that's nice. There's a flap on the top. Can I check my oil here? Jesus, I can look. Brilliant. So these are 2020 capabilities. We're used to them in 24, but this all works now in 2020. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're gonna work in 2020 for sure.
That's awesome.
Another thing you're going to need to watch out for in the failure variant is that the propeller shows visible signs of wear. So in the basic package, you will see wear and tear, but it won't harm you. In the failure pack, if you don't look at your propeller and look for signs of weathering or chips on the prop, you might get in trouble at some point. And the propeller doesn't just wear down with time, it wears down with the environment. So if you're flying, for example, close to the water, because there's humidity in the air, you're actually windmilling through some water instead of just air. So it's denser, so you're getting more damage. Or if you're flying over sand, the same applies.
That's
so
nuts.
Depending on the terrain type, your height above the ground, or if you are actually on the ground, on the weather, if you're flying through a cloud, through a storm, near the water, the propeller weathers at a different rate. So it's not linear or static.
That's awesome. Your little engine cover flags move in the direction of the wind.
Yeah, this is happening since the PC-12. It's very unique, right? You see it's going on the way in the wind going. The speed is also an influence like that. It's very good. You see the pitot cover do the same thing. It's very good.
And I love that because
these are the ULDs, the useless little details.
But they're not used. Like, here's the thing, right? This is actually so useful even to flight simmers. How many times have you spawned in an aircraft? There's no windsock. You don't know what the weather is doing. I mean, there's your windsock right there, right? I mean, that's what you do in the real world. Just, Jesus, the wind is blowing this way. So, I mean, anything that's going to... I mean, we can't exactly... Oh, the wind's coming in this direction, from a sim. So if we have visual markers, this absolutely shows you, the direction of the wind. It's really good. And like, yeah, man, it's... I'm just messing with the wind here. That's class.
you know well enough so that you can adjust your rudder when the time comes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like the way you can put
And
stuff
now-
back on.
Yes, and for those that don't like pre-flighting the plane, there's an option to skip it altogether, and the plane will remember that option.
Ah, nice.
Another little detail which people might appreciate is an external power unit, which you can plug on the left side of the aircraft under the pilot door.
And
In the cargo pod variant, you can also open the doors during pre-flight by clicking on them. But I'd like you to take a look at the label on the external power unit. I think you're going to enjoy it.
external power, 12 volt DC.
Yeah, so you open the door, and then you click on the plug once the door opens to install the external power unit,
Oh, that's pretty cool.
which we've made our own brand, and
The
I
Zap
think you
Pack.
might like the name.
The Zap Pack. I need some Zap. Anyone got a Zap Pack? Hang on. Why is it called a Zap Pack? Zip. Brilliant.
Don't read the label though.
That's really good. That's class.
And if you take a look inside the cargo pod, when you take out the GPU, it's gonna be there.
Oh, really?
The same. On the other door. The same with the
It's
shock.
going to be stored in the front.
Ah, look at that. That's class.
You can open that door also.
I'm trying to find a click spot for it. Hang on.
I think it's the bottom half of the door.
Ah, yes. Yes. Ah, brilliant. That's class.
Right.
If you take the shocks out of the gear, they are also gonna appear inside of it.
Oh, I love that. How many times have we had access to cargo pods and then we can never actually open or close them? They're just forever stuck closed. I think the new 208. Oh, look at that. It'll only do one shock at a time. That's hence the importance of your walk around. Very good. I think it was the default 208 would open the doors when you go to load it, but you can never interact. And like, I've always wanted to know how much space is in there, but now we know. Brilliant.
Yeah, and you can actually see baggage in there as well. One
Yeah,
other
that's
feature
pretty
that we're contemplating of adding is fuel contamination. So, for example, if you leave your plane parked for a while,
Mhm.
you'll start getting water out of the air humidity. You'll start getting water into your fuel. So you can sample the fuel by clicking those little taps under the right door and see if there's water in the fuel,
Ah, brilliant.
which is the clicking is implemented, the contamination is not for the fuel.
Nice. So what way will you model that as in contamination? Will you show it as a clean layer or put bubbles in it, or what would you do?
You're going to get a layer of fuel and a layer of water in the bottom, or bubbles, depending
Sweet.
on the type of contamination.
Sweet. Oh yeah, that's really nice. I'm liking this. Lads, what do you think? This is really nice, isn't it? This is brilliant. Okay, so we'll keep those doors open for the moment. Continue here with our walk arounds. Remove the pitot cover. And this walk around that we're doing now, this is what you're getting Flight Sim 2020, lads. So this isn't the native. You'll notice that I'm not in the external camera. This is the cockpit camera that I'm just manipulating myself moving around the aircraft. But yeah, I mean, it's nice that you can do this. And as you say, there is absolute consequence. You know, when it comes to later on, when if you want to grab the failures, there will be savage consequence, you know? Now, let's say, for example, lads, if I left those engine intake covers there, or if I left the pitot tube on, even in the current version that doesn't have failures, is that going to impact on the aircraft?
Yes, you won't be able to start the engine with the covers on.
Okay.
There's not sufficient airflow to go into the engine.
Okay. And
Or
what
if
about...
you don't remove the pitot cover, you will lose your airspeed.
Nice. Jeez, the sounds and everything are working there. That's class, man. Class. Right, let me close this, close that little flap there. And we'll close the back door here. And, I suppose...
Yeah, we don't have any spark effects if you drag this door on the ground.
There's not... Right. Immersion ruined, Alex. That's it. Jesus, how'd you close the door? Oh, wait, hang on. You click it first. Get in quick before it closes. And then we latch
There's a
it.
click spot in the back. Yeah, there.
And I will latch this one as well. That latch is mad looking. In aviation, you think you'd be like, you know, no, it's like a shed door. It just clips into the out little receiver, right? Class. All right, good stuff. Awesome. The pitot cover can the pitot cover catch fire? Brilliant. Right, so looking into the cockpit, the sun is not shining in here, so I don't know how well we can see things. Speaking of which, we got sun visors. Look, with realistic creaking sounds. Love it. Brilliant. Okay, right. So, well, there's features. Let's have a look at this tablet, I suppose. What can you tell us? Two Cats, I think you've been busy playing with this.
I may have been tinkering with it.
Tell us about it. What can it do? Can we play Snake in it?
Not yet.
So this is a tablet, as Alex was saying, this is something that is going to go into the rest of the SWS fleet. So no pressure at all, Two Cats. Who else is working on this, Richard?
No.
It's just you.
Ephrabides is my fearless teacher who's got the patience of a saint.
Brilliant. Ephrabides.
We have been working together with Two Cats on the tablet.
Hello there.
He has been an incredible partner.
Brilliant. Right.
I think the first thing I played with is the digital clock that was in this, wasn't it? Ephrabides?
The volt amp meter, I think.
That's it, the volt ammeter, that was it, the first thing you let me play with inside.
Yes, firstly you got your training on the voltage amperage meter, and then the training wheels went off with the tablet.
Nice. Okay, so to power it on, will we turn it on?
So there are two click spots on the tablet. One is the base of the suction cap to show or hide it. And the second one is the lock button, which is the third button from the left. So you click the lock button to turn on the... Yeah, that's showing and hiding.
Ooh.
And there you go.
Okay, fuel and payload, flight bag and settings. All right.
These are the first menus that will be incorporated for the Airvan.
Okay.
And
A fun little thing as well is the top left-hand corner where it says your tail number. If you set your own, like for instance PHTWC, it will actually read your own personal tail number in the top hand corner.
Nice, in the tablet. Nice, okay.
yes, and also the time is of course the local time of the simulator.
Okay. So we have a home button.
We plan to add local and home time features in the future, so you can see different time zones if you fly across them.
Okay.
So you
The design philosophy for the tablet is big and chunky click spots. So the idea is that the click spots are color coded, big where possible, so that you can operate the tablet while looking outside the window instead of looking at the tablet.
yes, the tablet is here to assist in setting up and flying the aircraft, not being the centerpiece of the cockpit. So the pilot should be able to easily ascertain what he wants to do and click on it and achieve it. So for example, if you go to the fuel and payload section, you'll see firstly that we have the fuel page for the aircraft. You have 4 presets for fuel levels on the top, so you can easily put it on half tank on maximum, and you can configure the individual tank levels if you simply click on the tank itself and set a particular level. So for example, if you click at about the bottom of the tank, the corresponding level will be filled.
Oh, look at that. Okay, I like that. And the aircraft is reacting to that as well. I love the. What's that?
Yes, the change in the refuel is instantaneous, along with anything else. And the fuel is being added in increments of 5%, so you can don't need to fuss around a lot with achieving a particular setting. Of course, there are the presets to assist you even further on that.
Okay, sweet.
On the payload sub-page, you can load the aircraft with cargo for the cargo version and passenger for the commuter version. And you can also set up the luggage. You can click, for example, the crates and add them to click spots. And if you double click on the crate or triple click, you can set up stacks of larger cargo. The barrels and the generators only go on the first row of the cargo because they cannot be loaded in the bag.
Gotcha.
So it's self-regulating. So the green pips are how many of that particular item you're going to load. The number is obviously how many you've put in the aircraft, and it's regulated that the certain items can only go in certain spots of the aircraft. So crates can go all across the aircraft. Barrels can only go at the front along with the generators.
Okay.
So if you have if you've got, say, like crate selected now, because you've got the green outline, and then you click the barrels, it will replace the barrels with 4 crates.
I like that, and you get to see it. I mean, that's what you need. Shipping with style, I like that. Brilliant.
And another thing that we did in anticipation for career mode, some people like to do it in free flight, others like to do it in career mode. In order to avoid them being intrusive in career mode, you can there's a setting in the tablet in the options that allows you to just get rid of our own cargo. So no matter what the tablet shows, there will be nothing in the cabin, and you will be able to see the MSFS cargo, which is much more rich.
Look at the detail you've gone into here. You've even put the safety pins into the ground hooks for the generators, for God's sake.
Yes, it should also be noted that in the final version, you can only load one generator either on the left or on the right, because the models are way bigger than, so they overlap a bit.
Sure.
Also, the cargo weight and the passenger weight is automatically generated. It's not the same every time. So if you click, for example, the apply button a couple of times, it will generate a new cargo based on your selection, but with slightly different weights, so you can achieve some randomness that happens in real life.
Yeah. See that? That's pretty cool.
Yes, and you also have indicators for this lateral and longitudinal center of gravity, which change every time according to your selection. You can also empty or fill the aft luggage area.
Nice. And the same with your pilot, co-pilot. So your pilot is always there, but your co-pilot, if you want to remove them, that's them there. Nice. Yeah, I like that. It's simple, but very effective. I mean, it works perfectly.
Yeah, the whole point of the tablet was to give you the information you need, make it look nice, but not be massively overcomplicated. Most of it was designed from being sat just behind the yoke, so it should have good readability from close to yoke point.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I like the I just like the attention to detail. Like they're tied down, you got a cargo net there, everything's where it should be. Yeah, it looks the part, and like looking in externally, you can also see the stuff. We're bringing Jenny for a spin there, look. That's class. I like that. Yeah, that's really well done, lads. I love that. The weight and balance element, so the fuel and payload. So that's the first little section we've looked at. Yeah, it looks really nice. So moving on then, our next option being the flight bag.
Yes. In the flight bag, you have 2 options as of now. And the first is the manual, which is now fully integrated in the tablet with along with the sections of it, and you can read it at any time you want. So this will help the pilots get immediate information on all the systems that they require. And if you click on the bottom of the page, you can scroll to the next page and along in each individual section.
Nice touch.
No more, where is the manual?
Yes, the manual will always be there. Unless they manage to click this action cap and hide the whole tablet, then we'll be looking for the tablet.
Where's the tablet? Why? I need the manual. Yeah, that's good.
You know, Murphy, most of the people are going to ask how I turn on the tablet, because it's not just clicking on the screen. You know, you need to click on the button to turn on.
Yeah.
You need
That's
the
gonna be
manual
the
for that.
You need the
Yeah,
manual.
you need
Where's
to
the
see
manual?
the
It's in the tablet. Brilliant. No, I like it, man. I like it. So these the far left buttons, they do nothing. So it's just your power on is here.
Yeah, we
Yes,
tablet
the
don't
other
play
two
music
buttons are cosmetic for now.
For now, I like the way you've said for now. They're going to be able to do stuff.
Well, as long as they are there, we might as well use them
Yeah.
for something.
Ideas are flying around every day.
Yes.
Yeah, I can
Flight
imagine.
Conti is asking if it can be hidden.
Yeah.
I think it was just answered.
Because it's great having it there, but like people are like, wait, Jesus, it's in my way. But no, it's 100% it can. Yeah, that's really nice. And the only thing that's missing, lads, and you're right, I'm just saying now, you know these two buttons that aren't doing much? I'm going to give you a headache. A suggestion might be, especially for the manual, can you zoom in on that page? Because you know the way you're talking about
make it an option.
Right, Murphy, we crown this one here, lads, because you know the way you want to read it, and everything so far has been lovely and, blocky. But if I'm trying to say, Jesus, hang on, I can't read that, and then suddenly I've lost everything else but the tablet, kind of goes backwards. So maybe you can zoom in there, maybe you can't, I don't know. You can call it the zoom in feature 2025.
We can certainly consider that.
There we go, sweet.
And
Yeah, I like
now,
that. I like that all the information that you need is here, and like it's giving you the information about the aircraft as well. Yeah, it's just neat and tidy. I mean, like at a glance, you can double check. Oh wait, where do I find this? Where's this? Nice. Did the jacks flush? It's cool and all, but did the jacks flush? Brilliant. Okay, so the flight bag, that's for the manual, and then we have normal checklists. So you're providing checklists to this aircraft as well.
yes, if you can click on it, you will have a full arrangement of checklist for all the sections needed from the start of to the end of the flight, and you can click along any menu and check them out accordingly.
Nice. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then we move across to continue them on. Yeah, I like that. Engine start, taxi, takeoff, cruise, descent, landing. Yeah, good stuff. Very clear, right? Very clear.
It's still a little bit of a work in progress because there's so many checklist items. You see the up and down arrows on the left-hand side. You'll actually use those to go through to grab which checklist you want as well.
Yeah. So there's possibly more going in there, or...
I think there's 15 slots there and quite a few more actual individual checklist items for those.
We plan to have around, if I remember correctly, 22 or 23 individual checklists for the Airvan.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was something like that, yeah.
Nice.
Each will have between 3 and 20-something items, so that's a lot of items to check out.
You'll be checking it out all day. Nice. And then our last area here is the settings.
Yes.
So we have options here. So avionics, that should be choosing what avionics unit. Oh, look at that. So
yep.
Yes, you have working titles GNS, then you have the GTNs coming in from PMS. And are these working?
Yes,
Yes,
if you
as
click on it,
long as
exactly
you have them installed in your system, they will change to the selected system.
Nice one. Okay. Settings. And then we have failures and weathering. So this would be the module that you pick up after it. Yeah?
Yes, this will be added in the future for the release of the Airvan.
Okay. And then we have just general options here. So this is where you can enable your pre-flight if it has an autopilot. If you want to see cargo, I imagine that's to help folks out maybe with performance. And if you want to have the pilot or co-pilot hidden.
Yes, and as you know, these are only to display the pilot and co-pilot models, so you can have the models be shown through here and have the individual weight set up from the cargo section, so you can achieve any combination you would like, seeing or not seeing the pilot and co-pilot, and having them weight the aircraft to make it more nose heavy or not.
Okay, sweet.
That was made deliberately so you can achieve any scenario you like.
I like that. Lads, great work on the tablet. Yeah, I'm liking that, and it'd be very, very good to see that across the fleet. I like what you did. They're big buttons. That's what you want. You don't want to be faffing about trying to find, where's the button? And next thing you're in turbulence, and the mouse is clicked on something, and you explode. You know, it can happen. But yeah, great job here. And you can, if the tablet's in your way, just get it out of the way. There is a click spot on the window. It's you can actually see the marking where it goes. Look.
Yes, we try to make it as easy to use as possible. That's why the tablet also doesn't have a lot of depth in the menu. So once you are in a menu, you can have 1 or 2 clicks to get to the final sub page.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to dig around through menu to find whatever it is that you are looking for.
Okay, sweet. Nice.
Also, one thing worth noting is that if you want to skip pre-flight, again, this is an option that will be remembered by the aircraft. If you skip it, it's going to remove the chokes, the covers, everything automatically. But
okay.
if you reactivate pre-flight, then let's say that you're on the ground, it's not going to install the covers. You need to do it yourself. This is to avoid accidents where, for example, you activate pre-flight features in the air, but you end up with a clogged engine.
Okay.
So that doesn't get in the way. So you can clean the aircraft, but you need to cover it yourself.
I like that. Yeah. Nice. Right. Well, avionics then. I mean, I'm a sucker for a steam gauge. I mean, you're right. You have click spots here to hide the yokes. Nice touch. Only on one side. I mean, it's a single pilot op, right? So what have we got here?
And if you want to get rid of that little carpet cover atop the screen, there's a click spot in the middle column, at the base of the middle column.
Oh, look at that.
For the glare shield cover. There are some small customization options, more ideas of flying around every day, as I said before.
Yeah.
We might end up putting bobbleheads at some point. I don't know.
We need to see York as a bobblehead. It's going to happen, right? Yeah, that's a nice touch. I like that. Anything that you can customize an aircraft to make it feel like your own, it's brilliant. Like, because you feel a part of the add-on. It's mad. It sounds weird, but it works. It's like, no, that's my plane. So yeah, that's nice. So what we're looking at here. So across we have our fuel tank indicators and our fuel pull-offs. That's our fuel shut-off valve. We have a primer switch. Is that electronic primer? Is it? Batteries off.
Sorry?
The primer. It's an electric primer, is it?
Yep.
Animator volts, oil temperature, oil pressure. What's this little fella here now? A fuel flow, gallons per hour. So, used remaining required reserve. We'll get some power into this here now. The trim position, that's interesting looking. That's very different than what we're looking. Usually it's like a green mark, so we can see where the trim is. Here's the real one now for you lads, and I'll doubt you come across this. Is there any way that we can just adjust the speed of the trim? And the reason why I'm saying that is some controls do it brilliantly. Other controls, people are using switches that are literally moving at one increment at a time. Maybe that's a discussion for another day, Alex, but it's...
So there are many ways to adjust trim for a developer.
Mm-hmm.
So intentionally, we put extreme trimming angles in the flight model. So you'll see, if someone opens the flight model file, you'll see that you can trim up to 60 degrees of elevator trim, which is excessive. But the reason we're doing that is to force the plane to trim slowly. So we're increasing the angle to 20 times the normal value, but reducing the effectiveness by 20 times so that it just takes longer to trim and achieve that fine tuning that you need.
Sure.
But if you use, for example, a hat switch on your joystick, then FlightSim can read that differently. It might trim much quicker. Or if you use a trim wheel, it can trim slow. So we have limited control over how that actually works. We're just going for the lowest common denominator and trying to get to work consistently for most people. but we can't adjust the speed perfectly for every controller, every input type.
Okay, I know a fella who knows a fella who robbed it from another fella of how to make it. I'll have a chat with you later. There's a way to put in like a slider. It's using a sim bar, I think. Anyway, it's not important. We'll chat later on it. But it's my controls particularly. So I'm like, if I go hatchet trying to move the trim wheel, it's like, you're tickling me. You know, where by other controls you did that, you'd be trimmed off like the nose is down or straight up. Do you know what I mean? So just something there for depending on the user, because this aircraft, I mean, it's a flight sim release. Is this also targeted to Xbox players?
Yes.
Ooh.
So we're testing this with a bunch of hardware. Some of us are flying it with just a twist grip joystick. Others are flying it with a Honeycomb Bravo and the yoke. I did take it up for a few flights with a gamepad, and it's workable. Although the fewer controls you have, the more handicapped you are in that sense.
Sure.
Like if you want to throttle, trim, and feather at the same time, you only have one thumbstick to work with.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Let me see here now. No smoking, doors to be closed. Go on, yeah.
Sorry, I lost you there.
No, you're okay. Keep going.
Another little detail that we added to the plane is you can see the compass on the six-pack. It has a heading adjustment knob. If you remove the autopilot from the tablet, then your compass will change, and you will also lose the autopilot circuit breaker in the overhead, and the entire autopilot will become inactive. So removing the autopilot does make a difference.
Nice.
It's in the other settings.
Nice. And it removes the autopilot unit.
It's a completely different model compass too.
That's awesome.
Although I'm fairly certain that I'm the only one flying it by hand.
That's the challenge. One man flying with no autopilot. Nice. Yeah, I like that. These are all kind of creature comforts to get the aircraft the way you want to fly it, right? Or indeed you want to give yourself a challenge. You know, tonight I'm going to fly in bad weather with no autopilot. You know, you have those options. Sweet. Right. Well,
I mean, this is the most I've seen of the plane because I've been too busy staring at that top left-hand corner.
I can
I
imagine.
think I've spent hours and hours in this plane. I'm like, oh, when did that get added?
You could do
that
this.
done?
You could do this.
Yeah. I just lived in that top corner of the aircraft.
Nice. There is an overhead as well, and of course we have circuit breakers. These are all modelled, right?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Although there's not a lot to use on the Airvan. It's a very simple plane. It's just the basic stuff that you need to fly a plane. It's easy to operate. So the switches behind the red guards are the master electrical switches. Yep, the usual flexi lights with a gooseneck.
But no matter what way you do it, you'll never get it where you want.
That's a feature.
That's a feature. Brilliant.
We also have some failures for the circuit breakers.
Oh, nice.
Circuit lighting, instruments, avionics. Almost everything is going to fail on the aircraft.
I like that, man. I like that. It's beautifully modelled. I love the switches. They're gorgeous.
What's interesting is that the lighting controls are on the right-hand side of the panel. So you need to reach around the GPS units to turn on the lights.
On the right-hand side of the panel.
Yeah, these three guys.
And there's also an air conditioner panel out there.
Oh yeah, I was looking at that. Okay, so here's our radio lights. All right, okay, gotcha now. Right, so the fans.
Hello there.
Yes.
And there's sounds and they work.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
There's no air conditioning on the plane, only fans for that, as far as I know, but it seems to get the job done.
Oh, we like. Right, lights dim, they work, test. Like, there's not much, but there's enough, right?
Yeah, it's very simple plane.
And what's interesting about the fuel warning lights is that if your fuel is low, it's not just going to come on and illuminate. Depending on the fuel level, it's detecting air bubbles in the fuel flow, and it's going to blink. So the lower the fuel level, the more frequent the blinking until it gets solid.
Oh, nice. And there now. I've more lights here I need to find. Where's the switch for this gadget? Oh, there he is, look. Right. Where's the... There he is.
The switch for that is the forward quarter of the light. There you go.
Ah, that's pretty cool. I like that. And then we can move the gadget around, look.
As you said, the challenge is to point it where you need it.
While you're flying in turbulent air. Yeah, I like that. The lighting's very good.
It's an enlightening experience.
It's enlightening. Brilliant. Cabin lights. And you can move all the stuff around. Yeah, no, I like this, lads. This is really nice. It's quite a dark cockpit for flying, right?
Yeah, there are only a couple of cabin lights. One is the courtesy light that's right behind the overhead.
Yeah.
Which illuminates the cabin from the front. And there's also the wing light, I think it's called, which is right over the cargo door.
Oh, yes. Oh,
yeah, you have this little guy up there and one right above the cargo door.
Is there a switch now?
Yep, there are two switches in the overhead. One is called wing and one courtesy light. They're on the left side of the overhead panel, I think third row from the front.
Oh, yeah. We have it, man. Sweet, okay. Ah, look at those landing lights. Look at that. I love that. Little spot lamps, look. Yeah, we like that.
Is that a deer?
Listen,
you headlights?
You would you wouldn't know what you'd find out here. One thing I've noticed though, and it could be just an early bug, do you see the lighting on those 530s there? Is that right?
Yes, I just took a note of that.
Ah, right, okay. Sweet. Right, we'll make it daytime again. And what I'm going to do, we're going to fire up the engines, have a little listen to it, and I'll see what you guys think here in our chat. What do you think so far, lads? It's pretty nice, isn't it? I imagine avionics need to be off for starting this machine up, otherwise it'll scream at us. Right.
Ideally, yes. You can get your clearances and keep one there.
I was looking at, you have two switches for it. Gotcha, okay. Strobe lights, fuel pump. Now, will this react to fuel coming in? Let's have a listen. Is there a fuel tank selector?
No. It's
single
there are
feed.
Two wing tanks, and they feed into a SAM tank that's below the co-pilot seat, and from there it goes straight to the engine.
Okay.
It's going through the two pumps and then to the engine.
Okay. Alright, so we'll give it a start up and let's see what happens. So let's hope this works. 1, 2, 3. Let's hope she starts. Clear prob. Oh Jesus, that's nice. Lovely sounds. Right, let's see here now.
If that's coming from the Hawk Flickers, from the Hawk Flickers plane.
Right. They're all on. Turn that on for the crack. Leave the pumps off now for the moment. Alternator is not running on balls.
Did you pull the breaker for that?
Strange. Oh, no. Peter coming on. Battery masters are on. Avionics are on. We'll try the breaker. Where is it now? Access power, aircon, instrument lights, Peter heat, comms, GPS, fuel, autopilot, avionics, fans, systems, start, access power.
Is it? It's linked to the RPM, isn't it?
Oh, is
Alex?
it?
Might be.
It's linked to the bus switch and to the voltages. So if the bus switch is off, which it isn't, it shouldn't come up. I'll take a look at it tomorrow.
That's okay. Listen, lads, if
producing the right amount of voltage.
Yeah. Is there a circuit breaker for the alternator?
I don't remember right now off the top of my head. I think there was one. It should be in pass 2. I've got one. No.
That's okay.
No.
That's okay.
That's a bug.
Who needs an alternator anyway? I mean, the battery's brand new, right? Fran with the question there, wondering the price of this machine. Is that something you guys are able to let us know now?
Yep, the base plane is going to cost 25 euros and the failure module is going to cost 15 euros.
So,
and you're getting them for 20 and 24.
So for $25, is it dollars?
Euros.
25 euros, you get the base aircraft that'll work in 2020 and 2024. And if you want to buy the expansion pack, which includes over 70 failures and pure consequence, that's an additional 15 euros.
Exactly. And with the 25 euros, you're also buying not just the 2020 plane that works in 2024, you're also going to get the 2024 native plane.
Okay, so you're getting the native version of the aircraft as well. Okay. So 25, and if you want to have all the bells and whistles.
Oh, there we go. The lights out.
The lights out, yeah. I without looking, I just punched it.
Okay.
Right, so lads, this has been very refreshing, great to listen. You can absolutely hear from all the work that's going into it, the passion for this, and it's great to see, right? I'm excited for this. I'm just going to take it out for a very quick lap here. We'll have a listen in on the sounds because it sounds great, and yeah, really looking forward to the release of this aircraft. For anyone watching, it is a 2020 aircraft, but it's working very, very well in flights in 2024. I mean, there's features on this aircraft we're used to now in 24, but they're hugely important for 2020, particularly with the walk around mode. But again, if you don't want them, turn it off. So it's great to see. So to our guests here this evening, lads, I want to thank you very, very much indeed. You're very kind for taking your time out of your day to join me, and fantastic work on this. Can't wait for this to release. I think folks are really going to enjoy flying it. I love the features.
Thank you very much for having us. We were happy to showcase the Airvan. And while it looks like a simple plane, it has a lot of new technology from our side in it. So it's a big leap in a different direction for us.
Sweet. One question, Alex, just to put you on the spot. PC12 updates or development, how's that going? I mean, it's your hands are full with everything, right? I mean, it's not just that. I mean, you had the Kodiak out with us. You were saying you're working on the PC12. You have this now coming out. It's not to mention your other projects, right? I imagine you're a very busy man. Users of the PC12, is there an update somewhere along the path?
Yes. So right now, we're currently testing a flight model update that will increase the flap drag and will allow you to land in sandbars without going to 100 knots during the dive.
Mm-hmm.
So this is currently in testing, and we also have a series of avionics updates coming to the PC12. After every PDIS and TUCATs are free of the tablet in the Airvan, we're going to move the tablet to the PC12 and do avionics fixes to that as well.
Nice. And tell me, when do you get
Plus
time to sleep?
we have the Kodiak 900 in parallel. What? Sleep?
Sleep? What is that word? Someone said something about it, yeah. No, that's very, very exciting. Great stuff, lads. I really do appreciate you coming on and updating folks to what you're working on. I think there's going to be a lot of excitement for this machine. It certainly looks the part, and it's mad looking. It's like squished, and I like it. It has character. We like that, you know. So brilliant stuff, right, lads? Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you for
Thank you very much, Murphy.
We'll see you soon.
Hope you will enjoy the Airvan.
Absolutely, awesome work, lads.
And I would like to just thank Shoma for that here, mainly the pilots who helped us to bring the Airvan to this level we have right here.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. If any input you can get real world from the maintenance guys or the pilots, I mean, we benefit. The users benefit from that. So thanks for taking the extra steps.
Yes, thank you. Have a nice day.
Sweet. Right, lads, we'll let you go. Good luck. Okay. SWS, a great bunch of lads, right? So what we'll do here, lads, we'll be focused on the sounds for a moment, right? Let's have a now listen here. So we're idling on the ramp, and let's see what this does. Mind your ears now, right? Sounds lovely, doesn't it? It sounds class. Does it have does you have bait in this? It does. No. Interesting. No beta. Denied. That's a real heavy sound, isn't it? It's class. Alrighty. Some avionics need a tweak. How good is the old short takeoff and landing, right? Sounds are brilliant. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Lots of flaps. All right. Come on, you devil. Here's me live. Daisy. Definitely not going to win any win speed races, but it's yeah, we got the cargo in the back. You can feel the weight of it. Oh, it's pretty. Jeez, it sounds great. Alright, let's see what we can do here. That's like 90 knots, look. Alright, easy now. I'm not sure if the autopilot works. It is working, brilliant. What's our altitude? 1.4. Turn us to the right. Jeez, the sounds are phenomenally good, aren't they? They're excellent sounds. I get closer than that. Now, Murphy, do not hit a friggin' mountain, you big idiot. Try a quick flyby sound already. Yeah, it's decent enough, isn't it? Autopilot off. Easy now. Great sounds from the flaps and that when they're. Did you hear the wind, the drag? Oh man, this is nice. Easy now. Man, the drag for the flaps, that's awesome. Alright. What a nice plane.
It's not the plane, it's the pilot.
Ah, sure, listen, you know, barrel roll. Sounds like a 109. It's done really nice. This is called Mifflin County Airport. Funny enough, this airport, this is like the test grounds for the AccuSim Comanche. This is where we always used. Bring her in for a stop. Parking brake coming on. Parking brake is on. Kill the mixture. Oh, that was pleasant, wasn't it? At this stage, I probably fried the circuit board, but listen, lads. Totally fine. Nice. Nice, lads. And then you can go back to your walk around, get all your stuff. Chocks, put them back. Engine covers, put them back. Pitot, put it back. And we can do the same over here. The flaps, I don't think they're electric. They're gravity fed flaps. Do you like it? I think it's pretty. Well done, SWS. What a great chance to preview an aircraft in the works. Did you like it, lads? I thought it was very nice. Beautiful. I forgot to mention little detail earlier. Go ahead. Tell us. What's the detail? We need the information. Day one buy. Yeah, it's a pretty little machine, isn't it? Yeah, we all like it. Yeah, great stuff. Just waiting on Alex to say what the detail is. What's the detail? When is it available? June, I think. A couple of weeks. They're aiming around 26. We'll give 10 fellas a free copy of the Airvan pre-release, no holds barred. What? 10? Jesus. They can say what they want. We'll give 10 fellas a free copy of the Airvan pre-release, no holds barred. How do you want to do that, Alex? That's generous, isn't it? When and how? Just let me know. 10 copies, Jesus. Right? P.S. Miranda. Hey, Joey's here. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. Awesome sauce, yeah. 2 cats wants one. Will you get 2 cats one? Brilliant. Yeah, that's pretty cool. SimWorks Studios. What a way to go. Dee. Sai definitely wants one. Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? It looks fantastic, but does the jacks work? Wayne, Gibbo said the same thing. There is no jacks. You jacks out the window. I love an analog GA aircraft. Yeah, 100%. We all want one, yeah. Alex, there's about 200 and odd people watching. How are you fixed? Brilliant. Hang on there now. Sure, we'll when would you like to do that? We'll put it in there. I have the Kodiak. We'll announce on our Discord, Facebook how to reach out. Sweet. Okay, cool. They're going to be giving 10 of these for free, pre-release. So there'll be a competition coming soon, lads. So let us, we'll keep you up to date. SimWorks Studios will let us know when they're doing the thing. Simming Sav doesn't want one. He needs one. Right, sweet. Excellent stuff from SWS. Right, lads, we continue on. Next up, we're going to be looking at the Jag. And in particular, it is the weapons system of the Jag, right? Which are native to Flight Sim 2024. And with the Jag, of course, we have 2 variants from AzurPoly. We have the A or the GR1. I'm just going to go with the GR1. But what I'm using in the GR1, the same will apply to the A variant as well. All right, and missiles particular. So the missiles work in the A, they don't work on the GR1. The GR1 is very much atop the wings. Wait, what? I don't think so. Anyway, the missiles I think are at the moment only on the A variant. Right. So what we need to look at here is Izmir Airport with an ICAO code of LT Bravo Juliet. Izmir. Right? Don't you mean Jag? Right? Right, let's zoom in here. We're going to check out this airport with our beloved Jag. This is something you don't see every day. We'll park down here out the way. And we'll go daytime. Now, as this is loading in, chaps, I want to have a quick look here with stuff over on SayIntentions, right? As this is loading. With SayIntentions, I haven't really delved into... I'm going to load the Jag first, right? I want to show you their Discord and also share a little story what the team have been getting up to there recently, right? So, the Jag, we all like the Jag. I'm going to skip removing all my stuff and just hop into the plane, right? And leave us in this position, and we will give us a loadout here now in a second. But, lads, what I want to have a quick look at here before we go to the Jag, right? Some of the updates when it comes to Discord, and when you're wondering about support and all the jazz, I wanted to just show you briefly the SayIntentions Discord channel, because I've yet to find another Discord, probably outside of my own, right? But in terms of the sheer responsiveness that folks are getting to any queries or issues that they might be having, right? So in the announcements page, I mean, this is where they're doing any changes to the SayIntentions framework, right? It could be AirAct data updated, ATIS information. That was a new option added. We covered that already. You can have an ATIS lookup tool from the website, right? But there's also a load of other stuff. Now, depending on where your what subscription you have, be it a premium or, if you're on the free side of things. For example, there's stuff here for SkyOps. You can put away or put in your own suggestions of what they can do. We were using SkyOps earlier on today, or yesterday, and you can see all the stuff. If there's people that have any issues, well, you just jump on and here's an issue. Can we have a look at it, right? And what you'll see is the response time from SayIntentions, it's quite staggering. They're pretty much on it immediately, and like they have the developers, then they have admins, and like you can see how the roles work here. Then they have the SayIntentions experts because they know the platform inside and out. So anything you might be stuck with, plus they have multi-language support down here on the left hand side as well. So you're never going to be stuck, right? But for example, right, general. So you have like this general no support. This is folks helping folks, right? Which is class. And you'll see, like there's usually like it's a minute or two response time. That's all they do. It's incredible, right? You also have feature requests. So if you want to get, hey, can you add more things to the product? This is where they're looking at it, right? The SayIntentions AI panel. So you can see all the announcements. You can see the change logs, right? And just to give you an idea, right? Yesterday there was 3 changes, 3 changes yesterday, and 1 this morning. Cabin crews, so the cabin crews in the top 30 most flown aircraft are now aware of special offers, right? A new voice which was added, several new voice added to Dutch airlines, including a change to the ground and tower positions. So like they're constantly adding stuff in here, yeah? The experimental change log, then you have the NOTAMs. Community polls are always there as well. Then you have the partners lounge, right? So if you have a partner, that's your partner support lounge. But it's also giving you features on the other stuff that they're working on. Open Sky, which is the freeware ATC. Then we have kind of like the AI ground flow support. So they do the taxi tuner stuff there. Premium is all the premium stuff. So if you're in premium, this is where you get all your support and also some questions. And just general, how is the thing getting on, right? If you have an issue, you'll see them, like the team, they'll come back to you within seconds, usually, right? And outside of that, if you're stuck with that, and sure, let me know. Over 200 voices in the last week alone. Yeah, like it's chatting to the lads. They're like, Murph, we don't really have much to give you right now. Just keep doing what you're doing. And I'm like, lads, like I haven't even scratched the surface of stuff that yous are doing. So like, don't worry about it, right? Because they're constantly adding features.
Hello there.
Like most of the time it's done, without us even knowing it. You know what I mean? And you usually get things like this. Give us your flight ID, and this is important, right? So if you're using SayIntentions on any flight that loads up, any flight that you do, you're going to be getting a flight ID, right? And this is how you would communicate it. So it's waiting for the sim to connect and transmit. Just see up here in the top right hand corner that says flight ID, right? So if I go back into my sim and unpause it, right? And I bring up now SayIntentions, it's generated a new flight ID. And as soon as you click it, it's copied to the clipboard. So if you hear anything or see anything that's weird, broken, or otherwise, well, click on your flight ID and it goes over to the Discord and you can just type in down here your flight ID. And the SayIntentions team can have a look specifically at your flight. Which is very helpful. Like you're not worried about, how do I replicate it? How do I do? Show me exactly, and they'll look at the log of that exact flight. They'll see everything on their side, right? The Discord is free to join. Highly recommend you go over and take a look at it. It's there for support, but it's also there for information and keeping you up to date with what's going on, which I thought was brilliant, right? Now the other thing they were doing, where is this now? They went out to a K-12 school where they were using their sims, right? So it's a quick bit of news, just what else that they're doing. So Park City High students are using a new AI-based pilot training software. So they went out to a school to try this stuff, right? And this is great to see with students. So Park City High School students using a new artificial intelligence-based pilot training software in aviation classes. The career and technical education wing of the high school houses more than 10 pathways for students, including aviation. Like, we don't have stuff like this in Ireland. Flight training is not part of, the Irish education system. But anyway, aeronautics teacher Trip Marshall told the program already has 3 flight simulators purchased. And while simulators themselves are great, they said one component was missing, a system to simulate ATC. I was having to simulate ATC for these kids as it wasn't really a great experience because I could only focus on one at a time. A new AI-based software called SayIntentions is filling the gap. It simulates air traffic control and it sounds like a real person. Brian from SayIntentions talked to the Park City's flight simulator students on Tuesday about the software. He said an algorithm was built for the decision-making aspect and AI was used as an interpretation layer, right? AI as a teaching tool in the cockpit, it's brand new. I mean, it's very much in the forefront of aviation learning. And they're doing some really interesting things by putting AI right into the headset where the pilot can have a mentor talk at any given time. The software helps users manage all the moving parts the pilots need to know from flying, navigating and communicating with ATC to control even your co-pilots and other crew. So it's the only school in the state that's using that software, which is kind of class. So I've flown gliders before. One of the hardest things for me was getting over the being scared to talk to the tower, interacting with the traffic control. But this AI has been super cool, how it talks back and it can understand what you're saying, even if you're not using the perfect terminology. And I think we've seen that before already, right? It taught us a lot of procedures and what we're doing in the real world we can't actually do in the plane, like fires and emergencies. Don't mention the fires I put out. Brian and the class also discussed the future of AI in aviation. AI will allow pilots to better manage their workloads and could allow planes to be piloted without a co-pilot. AI will also allow ATC controllers to make faster and smarter decisions. No one wants an airplane that's piloted exclusively by AI. Nobody wants AI to replace air traffic controllers. But just like the computer has sort of made everybody's job more efficient and it's made aviation in general far safer, AI is going to do effectively the same thing. Students now will learn more about AI in the class and how it affects in the aviation industry. Like, it's great to see that, especially getting involved with schools, right? I mean, that's because AI is evolving at such a fast rate. Have a look at ChatGPT these days. Like, it's getting friggin' nuts, right? And when you can see what SayIntentions can do from the scenery injection, from putting fires in there, from knowing your location and telling you, like, it's getting really, really interesting now. So I thought this is a really nice thing for SayIntentions. And, you know, as Brian and the team have said already, I mean, with their AI living world, they're just getting started. They're only just starting on this journey of what might be possible. Not only, it would seem, in flight simulation, but also when it comes to real world flying. Very, very interesting stuff. So I thought I'd share that with you. Very interesting, right? Just don't ask about Janet. Yeah, don't ask Janet or Nikki for that matter. But I thought that was pretty cool. Right, lads, moving on. This is the Jag. And we'll check out the airport actually while we're here. Quick now. This is Izmir V2 from Simulations, right? It's a brand new scenery built up. Interesting. Taxi decals are interesting. A couple of trees here and there. Great frame rates. Jesus, great frame rates. Loads of service buildings. We'll have a quick ramble around, just have a quick look at this, and then we'll get into showing you how to get the weapon systems in the Jag up and running. Loads of details here. We have cars, UPS, of course, any Skodas, no Skodas. It's a crying shame, I tell you. Ooh, into the tower. I remember seeing this scenery back in Flight in 2020, and I was like, Jesus, it was fantastic. These are all new buildings. Tower interior. The airport interior itself, everything's modelled here on the inside. Let's go in for a closer look. And this one from Simulations, lads. Yeah. So they've added passenger clutter around the place. I love the light coming in the windows. That's nicely done. It's airports are airports, right? But some really nice modelling in here, look. In the door we go and ramble up. The little hedges and stuff. Modern art or something, isn't that what they call it? Upstairs then we have... Oh, this is nice. Oh yeah, look at that. Jeez, that's class looking. What's the lighting like at night time? And now, lads. Hang on now, lads. Oh, very nice. Very nice. I was never in this airport. But it looks the job, doesn't it? The light, Chase, the lighting is phenomenal out here, look. Right now? Yes. Nice lighting. Chase, it's big enough, isn't it? It's a huge airport, look. Okay. Oh yeah, terminal lighting is beautiful. That's very, very good, isn't it? Jesus, that looks real, lads. Let's do do make it rain and look at stuff. Telly's trying to turn off. Precip, lash it on there, Murph. Cloudage, lash it up there, Murph. You know what I mean, though. Like, doesn't that look very good? With the reflections and everything, isn't that class looking? All the gates look, Jesus. Very impressive, isn't it? Jag is 24 native? I think so, yeah. Yeah. It's called the landfill. Shag off! Skodas are great. Yeah, I'm loving the night lighting here. Superb, isn't it? Superb. Make it daytime. Mind your eyes. Yep, you devil ya. Yeah, look at the build. It's the architecture is really nice. Like the 3D modeling on these, like these must take friggin' ages, look. And no flickering textures that I can see. Good job. So existing owners can pick this up for a discount, or you can buy it. It's about 24 quid, I think. I have a train. Ah, brilliant. It's a tram. Although there's no rail, look. Interesting. We go further out onto the land side and we'll come in and have a look. Fine airport. Jesus, isn't it? Skodas are great for mechanics incomes. What are you talking about? Dennis, good to see you. All right, buddy. What do you think, lads? Izmir version 2. It's pretty, isn't it? It's in a quality location. All this neck of the woods around Turkey, those mountains. I mean, we've been here loads of times before. Very nice. What's over here now? Arty Hotel. The big massive terminal though, that's class looking. Jeez, imagine being a window cleaner here. Hello? What do you reckon? It's nice, isn't it? Welcome to Turkey, bro. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's a huge, huge building. What are our destinations like? I love this, look. Dublin! Brilliant! XQ! Aer Lingus. Who's XQ, lads? I've never seen XQ. Is that like... That's the flight number, XQ. It's not Turkish Air, is it? Interesting. Sun Airlines? Oh, Sun Express! Ah, so that makes sense. Sun Express, right. Transavia, Turkish, Air Albania, Jet 2. I love, that's class. Right, 2 flights to Dublin daily. That's what you want, lads. Right, well done. Izmir version 2 from Simulations. This is a huge step up from the previous one. Jesus. Need we say any more, right? Beautiful. Really, really done well. Yeah, nicely done. Very, very nicely done indeed. Right, time for the Jag. Now, with the Jag, what we need to do, well, we need to do a couple of things. We're going to load some weapons on, right? And we need to bind some buttons. Because, well, we need to we need to be able to fire this stuff off, right? So in order to find out where to go, let me see, download the manual on AzurPoly.com. So I think I have the manual here. Is it in my downloads folder? Let's have a look. Let's see now. No. Okay, so we go to AzurPoly.com. Come hither. And we're going to go to products. We're going to go to the Jag. And we're going to come down here to the 2024 variant. Where's the manual? Where's the manual? Great video there by Practically Geek. He did the trailer for it. Phenomenal. Comprehensive flight manual. So here we go here. So you have a paint kit, the weapons patch. So if you buy it through the marketplace, you can get the weapons patch. Let's go in and have a look at the manual. So there's a couple of things we need to look at here, folks. It's a fairly comprehensive manual. AzurPoly did a great job, I think, on the manual of this aircraft, because, well, it goes through the history of the aircraft, procedures, and all the jazz, but it also has a look then when it comes to the weapons, right? How many pages are in this? There's 113 pages, right? But in particular, we're going to have a look at some of the weapons. So there are some things we need to do, right? You need to bind certain controls. And where is it now? Weapon system. So the Jag comes in 2024 with a custom weapon system. All weapons follow realistic trajectories, smooth animations from pylon to impact. Nice. If you're on PC, you need to install a patch if you've downloaded from the Microsoft Flight Sim store. If not, you'll be grand. How to activate it? And now we want to look at, well, how do we use the stuff, right? So this is showing you where all the buttons are. In order to trigger the launch, you need to assign a button to what's called Trigger Horn event. It's in your control options. So you need a button to be Trigger Horn, right? Toggle Trigger Horn, that's what you want, all right? And then the rest then, well, we'll see. And then we have various weapons configurations, all right? So having a look down here, well, let's load some weapons on. So let me see, yoke, that's all grand. That's all grand. Fuel is grand. Weapons. So install our pylons across the show. And we'll go with bombs, right? In this variant of the aircraft, the GR1, it's in air-to-ground mode. There's no rockets. It's just bombs, right? So we're going to use bombs. And we've guns on it as well for air-to-air capabilities. We're going to get rid of that ladder there. And let me see. We'll disappear the EFB. We'll remove the remove before flight. Why aren't they moving? There we go. What else do we need to do here now? So keep checking the outside of the aircraft. I mean, look at the state, right? Look at the absolute state. And we'll bring the time of day a little bit more dramatic, shall we? There we go. All right. So we're carrying all sorts of holy moly, right? So let me see. How does one fly this thing? We're going to start off with a battery. And the alarm. And oh Jesus then. Right. Interior lights. We want those. Rectifier on. We'll just kind of scroll across here. We do have an APU starter switch down here. And make sure everything else is where it is. Flaps. Yes, they're all good. APU. Right now, spoiler and flaps. Don't they need to be up? Feeds. They're in the up position. That goes on. APU spooling up. Leave your throttles alone, Murphy. Integrated lights. Go ahead and turn some of these guys on. That looks good to me. Alright, APU is running. Go ahead and grab this canopy. And lock said canopy. Alright. And what else do we need to do here now? Hydraulic, auto, lock, TACAN, leave all that stuff alone for the moment. And thank you. And we'll go for an engine start now. So left engine. Let me see. Air star feed. Your bleed effectively. Is it 2 or 1 first? Can't remember. Now we could be missing something here. So right engine coming alive. %. 30. Throttle coming in.
Oh, Jesus.
This is a phenomenal aircraft. Alright, good start on the left. Right side coming up. RPM is spinning. %. Fuel is in, EGT is coming in. Powering up. Joey, right? Alright, good start left and right. Pedo can come on. No warning lights. Flaps coming in. Yaw damper's already engaged. Taxi light coming on. Now,
Jesus.
to activate our weapon systems, a couple of things we need to do, right? So our sight, first and foremost. So we have this little switch here. This is going to say guns are safe, or we go into weapons mode. Weapons mode, alright? With that, we have now life gone into our HUD. And by changing the reticule on this, it's going to show us what mode the HUD is in, yeah? So we can see we're either going to have air-to-air or air-to-ground. It's bombs we're going to be going for in this one. We have an ammunition counter over here as well. Leave it all on 0. Then we have the weapons panel. And it's here we select what ordnance we want to use, yeah? So you have bombs, rockets, right? And you literally click a button and that arms them. Then you have to unlock them and then away you go. Then you have your guns, machine guns on the front, cannons. You have single or double, so it's modes 1 or 2 or safe. I'm going to leave them in safe. I'm going to disarm these lads until we get airborne. And you can drop bombs singly, or you can do it as a timed, synchronized drop. They've added in a lot of cool stuff here, right? So let's just zoom out here for the second. Quick check outside of the aircraft. Spoilers, go ahead and bring those up. Quick flight control tests. Left, right, up and down. Looking good. And, well, let's go taxiing the machine here and see what happens. Small bit of power coming in. Brakes are okay. Alrighty. If you want to get very fancy, lads, does this work? Give this a second now. Now this is a feature of Reshade, not the Sim, right? Isn't that mad looking? Gun camera from the pilot's head. Back in the late 80s or early 90s. Oh yeah. Right? We can do that sort of messing. Anyway, taxi on out here. Come down here. Landing light on. Right's clear. Left's clear. Now we get ourselves turned facing the runway. Now, have I got an oxygen switch here somewhere? No? Let's find out. Alright, let's hold station here. If I was an oxygen switch, where would I live? air conditioning. APU can come off. Front wheel steering, that's all good. Tail hook, that's all good. Right. What we're going to do, we're going to accelerate up to about 150, well, about 100 or so. Pull back on the stick, get that nose wheel up, and we'll take off with the wheels on the ground, and then we'll up we'll go, right? So, tail hook is always good. One tail hook. Right, power coming in, there's 90%. Off the brakes. Full power. And burners. Speed alive. 100. Get that nose gear up. Hold the angle. 150. Oopsie daisy. Positive rate. Gear up. Flaps coming in. Coming up. Problem with our landing gear. Oh dear. Super 6.4. There is smoke coming from your tail rotor. I can't get that gear up, lads. Hydraulics reset. I mean, the gear indicates it's up. Jeez, it's the one time Murphy's in a Jag and he's going to die. I know. Trim out. Speed is still good. Right. Gears just don't want to play. That's interesting. The gear is shagged. Kieran Niall going to see it. You have to say the magic word. Say the magic word. Why isn't my gear working? Circuit breaker for the gear. Ah, Jesus. How do we fix this, lads? Right. You need to knock it or something. I've no idea. Failure. Oh, the gear is shagged. Anyone know how to fix this now? Right. Had to restart the flight and I sorted it. Okay, have we found a bug? There's no way to fix this. Surely there's a way we can fix this. Most unusual. It's the same as not the Jagged. It's a Jaguar. Restart the flight. Jesus. Right. We're busy looking it up on Google. Yeah. That was very strange, wasn't it? I checked circuit breakers, refreshed and resynced the hydraulic system, right? Right, let's see how quick we can get this machine into action. Get in there now, Jacintia. Let's do this again. Right, I left you in this position. Right, Murph, easily now. Get rid of the ladder. Arm the bejesus out of it. Pylons, yes. Horse them all on there now. Don't tip it over. Right, we're finished with that. Finish with you. Finish with that. Go away, and go away. Battery on. These lads on. Up you go. You need to go to on, close, APU, start. Spoiler, APU. Why don't you want to play? On, you idiot. Right. This is going to be hilarious. APU's coming up. We're looking good now. Right, Murph, make sure this all works. Engine 1. %. Engine 2. Good. Looking good. Looking good. On. Leave those alone for the minute. Cabin is secured. Weapons. Bombs. Alright, let's try that again. Bit of oomph. Flaps in. APU off. Right, hopefully this fixes it. We hope.
Hello there.
Getting this thing into action straight away. Mr. C, thank you very much indeed for the follow. Alright lads, hopefully it works now. I do have the Mirage, yes. Alright. Alright, let's go. Power coming in. 90%. 100%. Burners. Speed live. 100. Hold the nose. Oopsie daisy. Positive rate. Strange, right? Gear up. Flaps in. She's up anyway. Alright, off the burners. And let's head away from people. Run it this way a bit. Okay, so weapon systems, right? Looking at the hood. Wait till we level off and you see what we mean. Basically, you have to pitch down this aircraft when you're dropping bombs, naturally, because it all aims up at your reticule and all that, yeah? So if you can see where the hood is, see the way we have that little orange arrow? And see the oar means it's ready, yeah? So what we're going to do, we're going to arm the weapon system. So if we were to turn our guns on, for example, right? And we want to shoot some guns. Why is it not working? Change the mode. Where's the button we're looking for? Right now. It's not selective dropping.
Jesus.
And my button's not working. Easy now. There we go. Right. So your machine guns, right? Colonel Farr, good to see you. Kieran Niall, thank you very much indeed for the super sticker. Cheers, man. Right? So there are machine guns, or our cannons, right? Look at the state of these, look. So next up then in our little, you know, box of tricks. Go over here and we're going to go to bombs. Right? And bring up our air to ground mode. So again, we're looking for this little orange lad to say nose down and then the ready, right? Might make it a little bit darker so you can see the stuff a little bit easier, right? Yeah, that's a little bit easier to see. Get away from the sun. Actually, you actually want the sun down. Something like that, right? It's pretty cool. The sounds are great, aren't they? Alright, so what we're going to do here, we're going to go in for a bombing run, right? I hope this works now. Really hope this works. So, watch what happens to the aircraft, because when you drop a bomb, it reacts savagely, right? Let's drop onto the top of this hill here. And let's see if we can do this, right? So, bombs away. There's 2 away, 3 away, 4 away. So you can see our ordnance is cleared. The bombs do fall. Boom, impact onto the ground, look. Ah, Jesus, right? In the class, isn't it? We'll go back in and drop one more onto that location. And they'll stay there for ages, as in the smoke and all that. Like, it's just freaking awesome, right? You see the smoke? Right? So let's see, we'll go back in here and, where are we at? They're behind us. He's now.
Hello there.
Hello there. I prefer DC's. Yeah, but like DCS, different kettle of fish, like, you know what I mean? But to have this in Microsoft Flight Sim, AzurPoly did a great job here, didn't they? Right, let's see what we can do here now. Let's see, can we drop off one right in the middle? Watch your speed. Alright, nose down. Hold. Hold. Right there. You big Aegis, you didn't arm the bomb. It's alright, lads, that was just the the test. The test. Yeah.
Jesus.
Shut up! Get off it to anyone! Could you imagine me in DCS now? No, it's okay. We rang the Turkish government. They said, oh no, fire away, Murph. Right, let's try that again now. This time with real, you know, real intent.
Can I get a refund?
No, shag off. There's no refunds, lads. Where we're going, you don't need them, right? Right. Easy now. There's like a £1,000 bomb. Into the trees we want this one, right? Easy. Easy. Bombs away. There she goes. Bomb be falling. Wait for impact. Oh Jesus, it went completely miles away. Oh no! We blew up someone's gap. Say nothing, lads. Shh, shh. It's fine. It's fine. Nothing to worry about. That's exactly where we wanted to hit. Yes, on the road leading up to it. Oh Jesus. We'll go back in and strafe the place with guns just to be sure, you know.
Studies, 60% of the time, it works every time.
Bloody hell, Murphy, that was a vineyard you just shot into. Right, nothing's walking out of that place. Now. So look at this big Aegis. Sure, listen. Now let's do let's just rearm for the crack. Right, we're rearmed. Brilliant. Oh, brilliant. The whole shebang now is ready to rock, look. With me flying, the enemy are pretty safe. Oh, Jesus, we've broken it. Oh, no, I'm going into his flat spin. Jesus, no, we're all right. Easy now. Let's bomb the top of this mountain. Bombs. Fire them all. Go on.
Hello there.
Jesus, where did they go? Jesus, look at them go, look. Ba-jom. It's pretty class though, isn't it? Safest place to be is the target. Tanker man, good to see you. Listen, right. I mean, look at. I can't let you know all me skills. You know, then you'd be saying to yourself, that Murphy fella, is there anything he's not good at? I've intentionally made a gobshite out of myself to make you feel better. Yes, that's what I did. Right. But look, you can see the smoke on the hills for miles. Like, I mean, there's our first bombing raid, right? And there's our second one. The grouping is much better in the second one, right? But you can do this now with the AzurPoly Jag, and you just need to bind the right buttons to it. But the weapon systems follow the same logic. If you had missiles, for example, you can do the same, or you can set up like a salvo in here, look. Selective dropping, or you can go into bomb quantity, one at a time or all four. So let's load her up with all four and see what happens. Right. We've rearmed now. We'll make it slightly darker for dramatic effect. Yes. Right. And let's, you know, Line ourselves up. And now if I press this, I think the whole shebang will launch, won't it? Isn't that only deadly looking? Boom! Loads of boom! Isn't it very good, isn't it? Well done, Merv. You hit a few random places on the ground. Thanks very much, Muse. I'd like to thank my family. I'd like to... Oh, Jesus, don't stall. Right? Like, there's no consequence, but the idea that, like, you can go out now and actually plan a bit of a mission. And it's not the only aircraft that has weapon systems, right? But I love what AzurPoly have done here because, well, the Jag is such a great aircraft, right? Beautiful, beautiful aircraft, and yeah, man, it's to see that they can do this level of messing now with bombs. That was Izmir, Bentwing. That was Izmir Airport, version 2 from Simulations. Murph, you're better at starting fires than you are putting them out. Yeah, I'm a fire starter. A twisted fire starter. Yeah. But isn't it class looking? Now, they don't work in multiplayer, unfortunately. But, like, can you imagine now, lads, with, like, some of the options coming in from the likes of, Miltech, where you can create these missions now. Like, it's going to be fabulous. Can you eject from a plane with a parachute yet? I don't think so. I mean, there's a way to force do it. You can override that warning saying you can't jump out of the plane. You can, but it's bugged out, like, you know. Man alive, isn't the Jag a beautiful aircraft, isn't it? It's just gorgeous, lads. It's absolutely gorgeous. Must be hard to drop. Must be hard. How's the frame rate coming across on the stream, lads? Is it as smooth as jelly? Or is it a little bit stuttery? Looks okay. Alright. Seems okay? Sweet, okay.
Jesus.
Land to drop a bomb on yourself. So there we have it, lads. The weapon system on the Jag. Isn't it brilliant? Very, very good. Very immersive and just overall lots and lots and lots of fun. It's a great airplane, isn't it? Absolutely super duper. She's super duper. So, right, lads, that's going to do us for today's stream. Right now, how fancy can we get with this look? Oh, yeah. Silhouetted. Beautiful. That's going to do us for today. I'll be back on tomorrow some stage. I want to thank you all so terribly much for tuning in. Does it animate dropping the bombs? It does, yeah. You'll see the bombs drop and they follow. You can follow the bomb all the way down. Yeah. The ordnance drops. Which is very good. But I want to say a massive thanks to Alex and the guys working with SWS for joining us tonight, getting to show off the Airvan, a beautiful looking aircraft. So it looks incredible, and massive thanks to Alex and the lads. A shout out to Simulations for the copy of Izmir to show it off. If you've owned it in 2020, you can now get the upgrade. There's a discount, like $10 off or something, and then, of course, we have this incredible aircraft, the Jag, and with its weapon systems, I'm very impressed. It's a wonderful aircraft, and AzurPoly are working on more. Don't know if you guys saw the news, but they're working with Dassault now, and their next aircraft in production, you'll be delighted to know, is coming soon, which is going to be a payware Rafale coming soon. And it's from Dassault, right? Great stuff. Kieran Niall, thank you very much indeed for the super chat. Cheers, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you very, very much indeed. So yeah, AzurPoly are doing great stuff. I think the Fuga and the Epsilon have a recent update as well, lads. Make sure you grab those. The Bronco has been updated as well. Yeah, they're adding more and more aircraft to the lineup, and if it's anything like this, you're going to be in for a treat for sure. So right, we're back tomorrow during the day at some stage. We're going to be flying something, then we're going to do our briefing for a VATSIM flight happening tomorrow night, and then we're back on tomorrow night. Again, I'm going to be taking out the 737 MAX as we leave Vegar from the parking lot as we head to Reykjavik in Iceland, right? It's going to be loads of fun. So, as always, thank you all so very, very much. Your support, all the follows, all the likes, the subscribes, the days is everything. Thank you very, very much indeed. And sure, listen, we'll see you tomorrow. Good luck to you. Dublin. Pascal Sheehy, RTE. Is Pascal Sheehy still doing the news? Oh, there's Gibbo, look! He almost turned it over. Gibbo, you nearly rolled it.
Yeah, baby.
Did you just say that? He nearly rolled the trailer coming in. Hilarious.
Cheers, Gibbo.
Yeah, we can hear you. Bags are all the rage. Yeah, thanks for that, lads. Well done. What a great start to the feckin' night. And we're already... Stop pressing the buttons! Right, that needs to go, you know, fat. But in fairness, though... Right, you know, I mean, the